Hey yo, hey yo, we back with another one. Hey yo, this is the first interview with O.T.F. Vonnie father. And from the way he talking, man, this shit is wiki though. That's a factamundo. Hey yo, I don't know what's going on, but this whole shit is crazy. So look, I ain't gonna do no talking. I ain't gonna do that much talking, whatever the case may be. We gonna just get straight into the content, and you know what I'm saying. We gonna give y'all what y'all want. But I'm telling y'all, be prepared for what y'all about to hear. You know what I'm saying? Shout outs to DJ U. You know what I'm saying? Because he the one that did the interview, whatever the case may be. But I'm giving y'all everything. I'm giving y'all the whole thing. You heard? That's a fact of mundo. Hey, yo, remember, we ain't asking for no money on. Only thing we ask for y'all to do is hit that button. Hey, yo, hit that like, because I'm about to take y'all on the hike. And if y'all 10 toes down, hit that notification bell so you can always stick around.
NOOTHAWIE TV. This loving make me wanna go back because it came from a time machine. I swear this loving is a throwback because it came from a time machine. All the things you did to make it right.
Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the
Building.
channel
For
so we
those
can
that
get up
love
in the
Von,
algorithm.
Other than that, Hasan.
What you on, gang?
It is what it is. Got to let the world know to disassociate my nephew with Mickey Mouse. Ain't no free Dirk, long live Kevon. We got to separate that. That's an oxymoron. Period.
That's deep. You starting to deep already. Well, welcome to DJ UTV. It's definitely a blessing to have you. How you feeling tonight?
I'm great under the circumstances. I hate I'm here having to do this interview because everything was supposed to be taken care of. His exit was already written. It ain't nothing that I had to do with that. But as Muslims, you're supposed to rectify the situation. It's called blood money. People on the internet talking about, oh, he thirsty for some money. No, as Muslims, you pay the family the blood money. That's it. That's all. You drop a bag off, I drop it to Tasha. She gonna do what she's supposed to do with it. It's been almost 5 years. Have people claiming Islam and y'all ain't playing the blood money. Ain't nobody perfect. I might have would have backdoored somebody that wasn't close to me when I was 20-something years old for $3 million and I already got the money. How easy is that? Especially your mind ain't there and you don't know the person. But once you exposed and once you caught, you got to fix the problem. You ain't fixing the problem. That's why I'm here talking about it. Muslims supposed to cover their Muslims' faults, whether they right or they wrong, but I ain't finna keep on dragging this on and he getting the pass because he a celebrity. I ain't going like that, and I'm throwing my son under the bus first because couldn't nothing had happened without him. And guess who he worked for, though? That's what it is.
Man, we on fire already. Well, I heard the phone call between you and DJ Academics, and you know they included Wack 100. It took me a while to listen to the whole thing. Okay. The reason why it took me a while is because, you know, I'm King Von's former DJ. I say that every interview. They get tired of me saying it, you know. But I feel like at this point in my life, it's important for me to say that because Von's career and his death led to my career. I'm just being honest. You know what I'm trying to say? So I do respect his name in that way. Okay? And DJ UTV has become a great platform for the city of Chicago. One of the biggest platforms on YouTube as far as this hip hop street genre, right? And so, in addition to that, I got a son on the way. My son gonna be born next month.
Inshallah.
Alhamdulillah. And so when I see your father on the internet talking about his son, it stirs some emotions in me because I got a son on the way. You know what I'm trying to say? So it kind of puts me in a position to where I'm thinking to myself, like, wow, is this something I might have to go through 20, 30 years from now, you know what I'm saying, with my son, right? So we got a lot to unpack here. We got a lot to unpack. But I want to take it from the top. I want to get to know who you are. So can you tell us where you from?
South side of Chicago, 89th and Cottage Grove, Byway, Morgan Park, Ada Park, Byway, 64th and Normal. Came into the foundation through the mob through 64th and Normal. So I really was Lamron and Ada Park. So that's where I'm from originally.
Okay. Now, can you tell us what it was like for you growing up on the south side of Chicago?
I mean, the city was the city. I mean, it's just what it is. The city was the city. At them day and age, it was gang banging, it was this, it was that, but just so happened I was cool with the Vice Lords, I was cool with the Stones, I was cool with the Outlaws, I was cool with the Travelers, I was cool with everybody, you know what I mean? So I was able to move around different hoods, and it wasn't no problems because, you know, interact with everybody. So I was good always.
Okay, cool. So when you was growing up on the south side of Chicago, you was in tune with all these different, you know, cliques, gangs, affiliates, whatever you want to call them. Were you affiliated yourself?
Oh yeah, of course,
Okay.
of course.
How did you become involved?
Well, we started out as lynchmans, and then Pops was trying to press the older people to become GDs. We wasn't doing that. At the time, we was clicked up with 64th and Normal, and 64th and Normal, then they blessed us in, and everybody became BDs. A few people stayed lynchmans, the ones that wasn't getting money in the city, that was getting money out of town, so they really didn't have to worry about, you know, the taxation and this, that, and other, because anybody that belonged to a gang, once you get money, you got to pay fees, you got to pay dues, you got to pay taxes. So that's basically what it was. So for the lynchmans that was getting money out of town, they ain't had to deal with the Chicago Rick or Moreau. Then they stayed lynchmen. You know, they didn't flip BD. But other than that, that's what it was. You know.
Word. And so when you was growing up, did you have both parents in the household raising you?
No, I'm an orphan. My father passed before I was born, so it was just my mom and my stepdad.
Okay, I'm sorry to hear that. I didn't know that. You know, we've had a couple conversations before this, and you know, I explained to you my situation. You know, but how did that affect you? You know, not having a father growing up.
I mean, whether I know it or not, it definitely affected me because every man needs a male figure in their life, and not a grandfather, a person that's going to treat you like you're their child. You know what I mean? Steps, dads, and everything, and they're good, but every kid yearns for their father. You know what I mean? That's just what it is, and unfortunately, mothers have been doing it on their own for a long period of time. You know, so therefore, some men will. Man, why he talking like this or why he doing like that? This man was raised by a woman, so he might have those attributes, but at the same time, he's still a man, but that's just what happens.
Yeah, I like that for sure. Every little boy needs a man, you know, in his life.
And
So
preferably their father, you know what I mean?
for
Because
sure.
I had several men in my life, you know what I mean, that guided me and showed me and showed me the ways, the do's and don'ts and the ropes, but it's nothing like a father. You know what I mean? That's a whole nother level or journey of respect to have a biological father, but you're not in control of that. God is in control of that, and God looks out for the orphans. He makes sure the orphans gonna be straight, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, I'm Muslim now, so this is something that was written on me when I was born. I'm born September 28th, 1975, in the month of Ramadan. My mother's born April 1957. She's born in the month of Ramadan. No such things as coincidence, you know, so it's just what it is. Once you understand that, you have to take everything the way it go.
Yeah, for sure. So when you was growing up without a father, who did you look up to, you know, as a male role model or father figure, however?
Well, I say stepdad, you know, and not so much grandparents because they got an older way of thing. You know, you want to be in with the hip and be in with the ongoing. The grandparents, they just give you your morals and principles, and you know what I'm saying. But you really want to be like the younger generation. You want to be like the older people, the people that's, you know, right there. You ain't trying to be like your granddad, grandpa. You trying to be like your dad and things like that. So many different people in the streets. You know, there's real people that I come up around. You know, and that's what helped mold me and shape me.
Okay, cool. Now I understand from my research that you actually had a good relationship with King Von's father, Silk. Can you explain to us the dynamics of y'all relationship?
His mom, Silk's mom, and my mom, they grew up together. They went to elementary school together, and his dad and my stepdad, they grew up in Morgan Park together. So we've been together since birth, basically. You know what I mean? And that's just what it is. He was the only child to maybe like 83 or 84 when his dad moved out to California and married his wife and had other kids, but we were both only children. So we were all we had as far as brothers, you know what I mean? That's it, because he's the only child and I'm the only child by our moms, you know?
Okay, that get deep. You know, the internet be real curious about Silk, King Von's father. You know, they want to know, where did King Von get this from? You know what I'm saying? And so the history behind Silk is kind of, I don't want to say a mystery, because those that know, they know, you know, but for the internet, it's been a mystery, right? I was actually working on a documentary about Silk, and I interviewed Regina. I didn't tell you that. You know what I'm saying? Regina, that was one of Silk ex-girlfriends, or, you know. But can you tell us about Silk, you know, the type of guy he was, and, you know, like, you know, where did King Von get this from, right?
Well, first I'm gonna give the most important, heart big as Texas. And that's what it's about. It's about your heart. I don't care what it is you got going on. If your heart ain't good, your body ain't good. If the heart is corrupt, the whole body is corrupt. If the heart is good, the whole body is good. That's just it. A beautiful heart, beautiful soul. Didn't play. Maybe 125 pounds, 130 pounds soaking wet. If he see any type of aggression or anything that you finna be a threat, he gonna take off on you first. You know what I mean? And he just, that's just what he was. I mean, and it's just show you how DNA is DNA and how they look for bloodlines when they breeding dogs. I hate to use that for as an example, looking for the bloodlines. Von wasn't around his dad that much. But when I tell you 100% his father, 100% his father, from sleeping in the car, from the ordering the food, from everything, the movements, the everything. So DNA is DNA. I mean, DNA is DNA. As my son, I got blood tests on all my children. My son was 99.9.9.9.9.9 me. Talking about Vonnie, point me. But his heart is not mine. You know what I mean? And that's just bottom line. You know what I mean? His heart is not like mine. But Silk, I had some friends come up from Jamaica, and I've never been the type of person to go out. And they wanted to go out. If I ever went out, it was because my cousins wanted me to go out. That wasn't my forte. And he took my Jamaican friends out. They called me. They said, the fucking guy Silk, he's a pimp. He's a pimp. All the girls, Silky, 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 Silky. He got a big gun, the police chasing us. Woo, 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 woo. He said, man, we coming back. I can't wait to come back. I'm hanging out with your cousin. He got all of the girls. He's a fucking pimp. I'm telling you, he's a pimp. And it's just what it was. His personality, his charisma, his movements, I mean, before Von even got to where he was at, I told him I knew how he was going to take over the world, because I knew your father. I knew how he could captivate people's hearts and this, that, and other. And people got into it with him, and he only had problems because he's sleeping with somebody's girl and they man got a bag. Why you messing with this dude and he ain't got no money, and I got Benzes, I got this and I got that, and you messing with this dude, he ain't got no money, woo. So they mad. Cause they digging him and giving him the bag. You good, you need something. Not that he wasn't on it. They just wanted to make sure he good. He wasn't never no pimp, but it's just the women wanted to make sure that he was okay. You know what I mean? That's just the charisma that he had. That's who he was. You know what I mean? That's just who he was. A beautiful person. Beautiful person.
Man, the first thing you said instantly stood out to me. You said he had a heart big as Texas. Because that's how Von's heart was. You know what I'm saying? And then you mentioned how, you know, he was a ladies' man. I've heard that from other sources that he was a lady man. You know, Von was a ladies' man. So that DNA is strong, right? So when Silk died, there's stories on the internet saying he was shot by a sniper from the top of the roof.
From the railroad tracks at the roller rink on 87th Street.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on that story? Is that true? Is that false? Or,
I mean, that's very true. And the sniper that was hired, I knew who hired him. The whole city knew who hired him, because Silk allegedly broke into a house and took some money, and the people had cameras or whatever the case may be. And I later found out who it was, and I didn't know him from a can of paint. They like, man, you got to know him, you got to know him, you know, and so I don't know him. And word got back to me that somebody dropped a bug in his ear and let him know that I ain't about that, and I ain't, you know, I'm a Muslim and I'm doing this, that, and other. So stand down. You ain't got to worry about him coming to retaliate or what's this, that, and the other. So it's just what it was. You know what I mean? That's just what it was. And do I believe he was backdoored by the people who he went on the thing with? Yeah, but I don't have any proof, and I only speak facts. You know what I mean? I only speak facts, and whatever in the dark got to come to the light, and no soul shall taste death without God's permission. So that's just what it is. You know what I mean? It's just what it is. And inshallah, Von saved the whole family, because inshallah, he's a shaheed. And what shaheed means is you're like a martyr in Islam, like Malcolm X. And saying that to say this, how is he like Malcolm X and he allegedly killed all these people? Once you become Muslim, all of your bad deeds leave, all of your good deeds stay. Von was set up that night. So therefore, this was orchestrated. The people were paid to kill him that night. Fist for fist, knife for knife, gun for gun. You don't have the right to pull a gun and we're fighting fists. Von passed on a Friday, which is the best day of the week. Everybody say, thank God it's Friday. This is everybody looking forward to Friday. This is the day of Jummah. This is the day the world was created, and this is the day the world will end. Every Muslim in the world that knows their religion wants to die on a Friday. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave Von Friday. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave Von Tahajjud. This is 3:30 in the morning when you wake up to use the bathroom, but God is waking you up for you to pray and worship him. Because when everyone else is sleeping, you're up praying to him. And this is when God descends to the Lord's part of the heavens to see which one of his slaves is calling upon him, who's praying for him, who's asking for prayer for him. And then clear day when we get to the cemetery. As soon as we pull in the cemetery, starts raining. Rain brings life. Water brings life. Every living thing has water in it. So these are all clear signs in Islam that he's possibly a shaheed. And like I said, being a shaheed, you can bring 72 close friends or family members into paradise with no questions asked. So if his daughters and sons grow up to open up churches, be strippers, astaghfirullah, any of that, he can bring them into paradise with no questions asked. And that's just what it is. For T. Roy, who never got a chance to take a shahada that I know of, can bring him into paradise with no questions asked. You know what I mean? So this, he saved the whole family, and every soul shall taste death. We all gotta die. Every living thing has an expiration date. The creator of heavens and earth keeps our expiration date away from us, because if we knew when our expiration date was, the world would be pure pandemonium. Because some people be doing the right thing, some people be doing the wrong thing, but the pen has been lifted, the pages is dry. No soul shall taste death without God's permission. And as people say, you ain't scared talking this, that, and other. I've been talking this since November 2020. The whole city of Chicago, O Block, and anybody that came in contact with me know the business and know the truth. Just so happened, they put the rat emoji on my son. Okay, if you gonna tell, you gonna tell everything. You gonna give them Von's murder, and you can come home tomorrow. You know what I mean? And you got me and Fats to collaborate with you on your story, because you took us with you to go pay Lil Tim. So you can come home tomorrow. See, but what you all don't know and what you all don't believe, they intentionally got caught. This is all a part of the sacrifice. This is all a part of selling your soul. You got to do some jail time. You got to do homosexuality. All this come along with it. And they're going to beat the case for you. That's just what's going to happen. They run the world. Why you think the president has to go to Israel to bump his head up against a Jewish wall? Why? What did the Jews, why you don't see none of them in power? They let us be they the puppet masters, we the puppets. And it's just what it is. I mean, in everybody's music contracts, nothing but Jewish names. Nothing but Jewish names. The Jews run the world. And like I said, if I'm killed for speaking the truth, I won. And inshallah, I'm shaheed. And I can bring 72 close friends or family members into paradise with no questions asked. So, do I want to die? No. But am I afraid to die? Not at all. Not at all. It's what it is, you know. Every soul shall taste death, period.
Death is the only thing that's guaranteed in this life that we live. You
Facts.
know, you was born, you live, and then you die. You know what I'm saying? None of us know the date in which we have to transition, you know. So this is a very deep conversation already. You feel me? Um, when me and you first got on the phone, the first thing you said was, "Hey DJ, I don't know why you told them Quando, Rondo, and Lil Tim was at the club that night, cause they wasn't." And I said, "Hold on, Unc. I don't know what you talking about. We'll have to talk about that later." So we gonna say that for later. I don't even want to get into that right now. It's still early in our interview. What I want to get into right now is fatherhood, okay? Because that is the number one thing on my brain and on my heart, because I explained to you what I got going on currently in my life. So, with that being said, can you, first of all, tell us how many kids do you have?
6, 4 boys, 2 girls.
6 kids, okay. How old were you when you had your first one?
Maybe 17.
So you started young. You started early. Were you ready to be a father at age 17?
Not at all, because like I said, not having one there and doing what they're supposed to do, the right way, then you missing all that. At 17, 18, you thinking that being a child, but being a father is being a provider. And it's more to parenting than that, than just provisions. So when I say I abandoned my son, not abandon him as in financially, abandon him as far as fatherhood, but I'm a kid myself, so I don't know how to be you know what I mean? So that's just what it is. But at the end of the day, kids instantly, you know what's right from wrong. You know, don't cross nobody out. They put your name on millions of dollars and trust in you. Don't nobody do this. So you could never get down on a person like this. But if your heart ain't no good, and the reason why Von was so good, he had it both ways. His mama's a beautiful person. His daddy is a beautiful person. So he got the heart double both ways. Both ways. And as they say, sons will be like the mothers, daughters will be like the fathers. This is what they say. How true it is, I don't know, but that's what they say. You know what I mean? And this is what it is. So that's how he ended up winning. Like I said, my son, DNA, all the way me. Everybody that see him right away. You know what I mean? And he know I'm the business. You know what I mean? Because he comes to me for information. He comes to me for analyzing things now. He can't come to me about how to do no computer stuff or know how to do that. But as far as general basic knowledge and how to read people and pay attention to situations and read people, he know I got that. That's one of my gifts, is being able to see right through people, whether or not they're Mickey Mouse or not, and can get to key little things where once we associate this and do this, we ain't got to go no further. You know what I mean? We know this person is whether he for you or against you. When Von was sitting in jail for the Uber driver case, he needed $19,000 restitution to pay to the victim in order for him to get out. We got to go back to the label. Huh? Your evil twin wipe his ass with $19,000. What we got to go back to the label for $19,000 to get out of jail? But that's how 100K Track came into play. Track put that money up with no paperwork. Von gonna be loyal to the people that come look out for him and get him on the end. So that's how they finessed that and got him into the play. You know what I mean? And maybe dude was mad because Von ain't signed with him. I ain't getting a nigga $19,000. He ain't signed to O.T.F. and da-da-da-da-da. And just so people will know, O.T.F. on Von tattoo, that meant only Troy family. Not only the family, only Troy family. That's what that tattoo, because when I seen it on his hand, what you on? He said, no, that means only Troy family. So that's what it is.
Okay, cool. Now you just kind of revealed to us how Von became part of 100K Track management, right? Because at that time, everybody was like, who is Track? You know what I'm saying? He from Florida, right?
Yeah.
Why Dirk manager not Ola? That's the same manager that Dirk had.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Why his manager not DJ Bands or anybody from O.T.F? You know, like how did Track become his manager? And so you saying it's because Von was locked up and Track helped him out?
Yeah. Track put up the $19,000 for him to get out for the restitution that it had to be paid to the victim.
Okay. Now that's some information I didn't know. So we learned something today. Okay. But going back to fatherhood, you mentioned you had your first child at age 17. Then you started talking about Vonnie. So was Vonnie your first child? Okay.
Vonnie was born in 96.
Okay.
My first child was born in 94.
Okay. So is he your second, third, or can you break it down?
Third.
He the third. Okay, cool. Let's talk about, or you got to think about it.
There's me fourth. He the fourth.
Okay. So with you having 4 kids at this point, I mean 3 kids, and then Vonnie is coming to Earth.
April
Bush,
Fool's Day, 1996. Even
that's
though
when
we
he
don't
was
really,
born.
yes,
You thought it was a joke?
he's a fool. Obviously doing what he did, he's a fool.
Oh, that's deep. Man, so I guess the number one question, shit, I'm beating around the bush, is like, man, why speak out against your son, your own seed? This man came from your semen, out of your testicle, right? Why speak out against him versus protecting him, despite right or wrong?
Just because a person is born into the family, don't leave them family. You remove yourself when you violate and you broke the code. Check it out. For whatever reason, you ain't got to mess with your daddy. For whatever reason, your mom, whatever reason, you ain't got to mess with your daddy. But guess what? You got 5 other brothers and sisters. You know, Vaughn had brothers and sisters. You know, you got a grandma. You know what I mean? None of this would have took place. Silk come from our family. Silk don't come from his mama family. Silk come from our family. You know your grandmama need things. You know your sisters need things. You know your brothers need things. If with you faking it, whatever you do, this can't be just benefiting you and your mama, and you say F everybody else. How? You ain't no good. I can't embrace nothing like that. You got out on family. Somebody that I know would have died with you. And Vaughn would have never did that to him. Ever would have did that to him. So you wrong. You wrong, and you did this for, like I said, me at 20-something years old, 23 years old, crossing out somebody, even though my mother said, no, you wasn't raised like that, I wouldn't do like that, but just keeping it real. I already got the millions. I just met this man over a cheeseburger. We ain't grew up together playing, so, and I ain't got to pull a trigger. All I got to do is orchestrate something, and I already got the money. I ain't got to wait till he died to get the money. And 20-something years old, millions. Come on. I mean, that's just being logic. And no Islam, not being a Muslim, not understanding, not raised as a Muslim, knowing that you can't take it with you. God gonna catch up with you on the other side. Everything gonna come to light. But it's just what it is. And like I said, you gonna tell it all. You gonna tell it all. Go on, come home tomorrow. You gonna tell it all. Don't just tell or what they instructing you to tell. You gonna tell it all, because this is killing me. Seeing my nephew's killer and can't cut his head off. Can you imagine looking at your nephew's killer every day and can't cut his head off? I don't care about Lil Tim and Quando Rondo them. They did what they was paid to do. Only a real person don't care about them. You want the people that paid them. You want the people that sent them. What you care about them for? What you care about them for? You a fool. You worried about the people that paid them and sent them. That's it. That's it. Care about them for you did what you was paid to do. And guess what? You got to have a plan A, a plan P, a plan C, and a plan D. Because if it was solely upon Lil Tim, his mission failed, because Slutty bust him, it was over with. So Vaughn wouldn't have died if it was just solely on Lil Tim. He got broke down right away. Mission failed. But we got Atlanta police, we got the sniper, and possibly we got whoever's in the car pushing drugs into his system, into his wounds, whatever the case may be, when he's bleeding out on the way to the hospital. This is just an assumption. But for me to listen to an audio and a person says, ain't nobody drugged him. I never said somebody drugged him. He took it on his own. Okay, yeah, I know he took it on his own, but where did that come from? I never insinuated that someone drugged him. Are you telling on yourself? Did these 8 different drugs get put in his system by a pill that he thought was X? Or did, and as I said, this is the biggest night of his life. Vaughn was not no fucking junkie at all. At all. So I don't even know if he even took something on that particular night, because he called me. Unc, where you at? So I'll be there tomorrow, inshallah. We going to Juma. That's it. Next thing I know, I'm getting the call. Vaughn just got shot. Talking to him on the phone, but I'm talking to Islam. I'm talking to Islam because I'm him, he's shot. I'm talking to Islam, and he trying to tell me something. He trying to talk to me, but I don't want to hear that. I'm talking about Islam. So it's what it is, though, It's what it is. The creator of heavens and earth said that there will be no greater test to mankind than dealing with woman and your children. So this is a test. As Noah alayhi salam from Noah was in the ark, he let his son know, you are not of me. his father instructed him to get on the boat. He didn't get on the boat. I'm gonna climb up the tree, and this, that, and other. So he drowned with everyone else. So children will be a test for you. That's just what it is.
Yeah, and going back to the night, you know, Von died. Um, this was a big night in hip hop history. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, we're still talking about this 5 years later. Okay. This is a sensitive subject to myself.
Don't forget to like, share,
because
comment, and
I'm
subscribe
the
to the
one
channel so we could get up in
that
the algorithm.
coordinated the album release party. Okay. Von released Welcome to O Block on October 31st, 2020, Halloween. And so I'm like, man, we need to have an album release party. Because at this point, we was all living in Atlanta, myself included. King Von, Lil Durk, your son, Vonnie, and all of the other O.T.F affiliates. You know what I'm saying? So I know at the album release party, I saw what appeared to be Quando, Rondo, and Lil Tim. Now, when I say what appeared, it's because I saw some niggas dressed in all black with some handicap necklaces on. Okay? The handicap sign, that's what the Crips use. You know what I'm saying? Them Crips down south, they use the handicap sign. I didn't think nothing of it. I was getting ready to play Von music, but as the DJ, I'm looking at the crowd. I'm trying to see who all in here. Okay? I seen a couple niggas in some Dickie suits, all black Dickie suits. And the Crip handicap chain stood out to me. Now, this wasn't anything I alarmed anybody else about because I didn't think it was a threat. I didn't think, you know what I'm trying to say? So, like going back to the beginning of the interview, when I first talked to you over the phone, the very first thing you said was, man, DJ, why you say Quando, Rondo, and Lil Tim was at the club that night? They weren't at the club that night. I said, hold on, I don't know what you're talking about. We got to talk about that later. Ain't that what I told you?
That's exactly what you told me.
Because I didn't want to talk to you about it over the phone. I wanted my reaction to whatever you saying to be genuine. Because a lot of shit I've been hearing you say on the internet been having me, goddammit, wiping my forehead like, damn, what he on? So let's go back to that night. I know you wasn't in Atlanta. You said you was somewhere else. And, you know, you got a phone call from Von. He said, Unc, where you at? You know? So if you can replay that night from your perspective and the phone calls and stuff you was receiving, what happened the night Von died?
I can't speak on what happened because I wasn't there, but I know I was prevented from being there. I was sent to go pick up a Hellcat in Champaign, Illinois. I got the key way beforehand, but they didn't send the people who had to sign the car out of pound to the day of. So they know that I'm not gonna make it there in time for the album release party because I can't be there. I'm on point. I see everything. I pay attention to everything. And as Muwap said, Unc, where you was at, when you tell Von to move, he move. And we're gonna get to the Quando, Rondo, Lil Tim inside of the venue situation that you say you appear to have seen them. That's not the only handicap sign made, not only Dickie suit made. Reason why I'm gonna tell you 100% for sure it wasn't them, because they were paid to kill Von. So therefore, they're going to be at the location where they have snipers, where they have police on their side, where they already have their exit plan set up. Why would they take chance on seeing Von in opium and accidentally bumping into one of Von guys and everything go up from right there when Von and them is possibly armed there and armed outside? Little Tim couldn't pull no gun on all his people if everybody was disarmed. He knew everybody would be disarmed because they let him know you can't take no guns in the club. We're going to blow our whole bag. We have to fulfill our mission. So we can't jeopardize on getting into a fight with Von and them at the opium when we know the hit has to take place at the Monaco Hookah Lounge. Because this is where everything was originally going to be done at, but by the time a shooting happened at the Monaco, so therefore the Monaco was not even supposed to be open. And it may have just been patrons outside because we have to make it seem like that this club is open because Von is coming here, but inside the club may have been hollow. This is public record. The place was illegally open. And then when video came out, the guards that were outside, they said that Quando Rondo and them had already been sitting there waiting on them to pull up. So this is a simple assessment. Why would I jeopardize my bag and go bump into somebody somewhere else where I'm not already set up at and everything kick off and jump off here? I'm not going to do that. Not saying you didn't see black dicky suits and handicap signs, because they probably sell them in the gas station like they sell Obach chains at the gas station. So that's possibly so. But to actually have a visual, never in a million years did you see them, because we can't jeopardize our bag. We have to be at the location where we were paid to kill them at. And how I know this is location? Because I went there. Prior to, after we dropped off the bag to Little Tim, I went there with my son to case the place out.
Okay, yeah. Now that's when we gonna start goddamn having some back and forth, because you just told me you wasn't there. So now you telling me you dropped the bag off. So when were you in Atlanta?
We talking about in April when we took the bag to Little Tim. After we took the bag to Little Tim, we went and cased out the place, and my son's driver, Fats, I'm in the back seat laying down.
You talking about April?
April
2020?
April 2020. That's when Lil Tim got the bag for Von. My son's driver / whatever he is, he overdoing it in the driver's seat, like he got a top flight mission. He got a top flight assignment. He punching and doing all type of goofy stuff. So I raised up out the back. Man, where we at? He said, we at the Monaco hookah bar, soul food and everything, da-da-da-da. And I pay attention to monuments and to structures. And once I seen it, I said, I've been here before. Once I seen this, I've been here before. You know what I mean? So that's what I mean. I cased out the place. And my son called me once the place got shut down due to a shooting. Said, man, I said, have it somewhere else. But he's panicking and going into a frenzy because this is where everything got to take place. And I tell him, right, man, so what? Have it somewhere else. But later on, everything ended up playing back.
Okay. Yeah, now this one we gonna have some back and forth, because this shit sound crazy to me. You see what I'm saying? You saying Monaco was illegally open. First of all, at this time in 2020, from 2018 to 2020, I was an active DJ in Atlanta, working at these different clubs, okay? I never knew Monaco to be closed or illegally open or whatever. But I do know that Monaco was open every motherfucking night. You feel me? So now you're saying that he was looking for another place because it was closed. I don't know nothing about that. And I can show you my ID. My shit still say Georgia. You see what I'm saying?
Another blogger, he put up the paperwork because it's public record. Inactive is what it says. I actually have it in my phone to show you that the place was inactive at the time of Von's Georgia ID. The place was inactive at the time of the shooting of Von. The place was inactive. This is 100% for sure. Everything I say out of my mouth is going to be the truth, whether you get it now or get it later. I'm not going to open my mouth unless I speak the truth. This is a fact. It's a fact.
So what you saying is...
Oh, and let me correct this, because I said Dirk was signed to Coke Boys. I did my homework. No, he wasn't signed to them or whatever the case may be, but he was a slave for Def Jam and everybody else, and probably was in 360 deals, everything that Von was.
We ain't talking about Dirk yet. We just talking about the night Von died. You know what I'm saying? Because I was there. I wasn't at Monaco. I was at Opium.
Mm-hmm.
I was the DJ, right? What happened at Opium... The promoter of the night, shout out my nigga Kales, the Diamond family. They from Detroit. That's who booked King Von that night. Okay? Listen here. These same people booked King Von back in September 2020. Okay? I was DJing that night. We was at Miami Lounge in Norcross, Georgia. They booked King Von for $10,000. I secured the bag. Took the $5,000 deposit to Von. You see what I'm saying? And so after we did a good job at that September event, they wanted to book Von again. I said, well, Von dropping his album on Halloween, we should do an album release party. They was all the way with it. They wanted to get Von for the same number. DJ Band said, hell no. We need 15,000, not 10. I told the promoters we need 15,000. They said, okay, we got it. Come on. Okay? Now, when it was time for Von to walk into the building, they didn't have his back end ready. They didn't have that remaining 7,500. So they was kind of nervous. Von didn't care. Von said, whatever y'all got, come on. We gonna go in, we finna turn up. Von took whatever they had left, which was like $3,000 to $4,000. I can't remember the exact number at this point. But he gave it to his homie Boss Top, because it was his birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Now we get inside the club, I'm playing the music, we having a good time, and the fight break out. The promoter getting beat up. But since it's Boss Top birthday, we still want to party. We still, you know what I'm saying? Because this party got shut down prematurely.
Mm-hmm.
Now, me, myself, personally, when that party got shut down, I had two options. Either go home or continue partying with O-Block. Now, we in Atlanta, Georgia, and I know how O-Block niggas act, goddammit, when they out of town. So, you know what I did?
Went home.
I went home. But I went home on a great note. I had fun. I turned up. Von can't say shit about tonight. I did my job. And then I wake up the next morning and I hear all this, you know what I'm saying, chaos. Von was shot. Von is in critical condition. Von just died. Bro, what the fuck going on? So, to hear that this was actually set up and they was actually at Monaco waiting to kill him, that shit sounds so crazy to me that I had to talk to you in person to grasp this concept. This is my life for real. There's a thin line between content and reality. You see what I'm saying? A lot of niggas get on these cameras and just be saying anything. You see what I'm saying? So, now that we're here 5 years later, Dirk locked up, your son locked up, Von gone, you know what I'm saying? And now we're talking to Hasan Craig, about all of this that's going on. Help me make it make sense.
It's a back door. It ain't gonna never make sense to you because you wasn't there for the payment to get dropped off to Lil Tim.
How you know that this payment was dropped off to Lil Tim? I heard you say you was with him.
I'm with him.
Okay, so take us back to that day when you and Vonnie went to go drop off the bag. How did that happen? What was going on?
Vonnie come get me from the house. They already got the money ready in the back of the Suburban, maybe a 97, 98 Suburban. And give me a pipe. I don't ask no questions. We roll and we go to the country part of Georgia, and we can even pull my phone records. And that may let us know because my phone started roaming. This how deep we was in the sticks. My phone was roaming, and we sitting on the side of the highway in a neighborhood, though, a little 2-lane highway, sitting on the side of the highway. Lil Tim come flying past us on a 4-wheeler. I didn't know who he was. I didn't know the name. But prior to that, let's go back. Prior to that, we pull up on Quando at Quando's crib. My son tried to get the money to Quando. Quando say, no, I don't want nothing to do with that. You gotta go take care of yourself. Like, you're not finna put nobody else's money in my hand and they say it was short or whatever the case may be. You take that to him. You understand? So we end up taking the money to the guy. But I'm not knowing what it's for. I don't know whether or not they finna get some weed later on or what they finna do. I don't know. You know what I mean? But by him saying, Lil Tim running from the police on the 4-wheeler, and like I said, it's like we're in the middle of a drug deal, so I know I Googled my phone because I got a partner named Tim from Memphis. He got caught up running through the woods with bags of money and everything. You can Google it. You know what I mean? And it's the same situation, so it played in my mind because like I said, it's like we're in the middle of a drug dealer. We got money. We got pipes. My man Tim, he got caught up running from the police in the woods. Matter of fact, I'm gonna just say his name, Timothy Woods. You can Google it, Memphis, Tennessee, running from the police. And he got caught with $200,000 in the woods and all this type of crazy stuff. So the situation reminded me of that. And then for this to be the same person that ended up shooting Von, this is what that money had to be for. And that's when I talked to one of Von's people, he said he couldn't have took none of one of us because we know that he's not supposed to be meeting up with them. You don't know that these people are ops. So that's why he had to take you. He couldn't take anybody else because everybody else know that we ain't supposed to be having contact. It's just like somebody from O Block taking me to go meet somebody from the other side. I don't know they ops, so therefore they can do it. You know what I mean? But if I know they ops, what Vonnie, what cuz doing meeting up with them for? They on the other side. You know what I mean? So that's why he had to take me in. Plus, he knew I'm gonna give my life for my son. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I'm gonna make sure he's safe before I'm safe when it's a situation like that. But when you done got out on your people, come on, man, you Mickey Mouse. There ain't nothing else to talk about. And then, like I said, ain't no telling what nobody will do when they young, because they're young and dumb and money and all this and da. But for you not to make sure none of your people is good, you know what I'm saying? All right, grandma, somebody selling the Benz. It's worth $80,000. They selling it for $20,000. Stop lying. Ain't nobody selling no Benz for no $20,000. It's worth $80,000. Who you think you talking to? Who you think you talking to? All right, grandma, I'm gonna take my 20 and go get it. But when I bring it to you, you better give me my money. You better give me my money, grandma. I'm telling you, I'm gonna go get it, bring you the title and everything. All along, he put the other 60 with it. You know what I'm saying? And gave his grandma Benz that's worth $80,000. She only had to pay 20. You know what I mean? So you finessing the way you can do it ain't just about you and your old girl. And like I said, you don't come from him. Silk don't come from y'all. He come from us. And for it to only benefit y'all, you got to be stupid. For it not to benefit none of Von brothers and sisters, this, that, and other, all Von sisters and brothers, they look at me as Unc. It ain't not a time, they ain't nan one of them from Kayla on down been able to pick up the phone and call me and ask me for anything. If I got it, they got it. No questions asked. Period. That's just what it is. They all Unc. And even with Kayla, I forgive her. And reason why I forgive her, it's my niece. She ain't never had shit. She ain't never had shit. So a motherfucker tempted with money, she was baited in. You want the person that baited her. Even though she's supposed to know better, this is my family and da-da-da-da-da-da. But anybody can be tricked with money, man. Anybody can be tricked with money. You got these. My baby mama told me Biggie and them was gay back in the day. In the 90s, she told me that. She was in them freak offs. She signed them disclosure papers. I'm telling her, who finna think Biggie gay in 96? Who finna think that? Nobody. Nobody. I'm telling you, but she ain't finna go back and forth with me because she done signed them paperwork. She was in them freak offs with them. Because she was in the line in 92, 93. She was down there. So she literally was a part of it. You know what I mean? This Vonnie mom, she was a part of it. But she telling me this, but I'm not knowing. You know what I mean? I'm pushing her on the rug. You don't know what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? But all along, it's just what it was. And like I said, she knew the industry better than anybody because she was there.
The whole world feel like the King Von situation was a fluke. Like it was fluky. Like, you know, like he walked up on Quando Rondo, started punching him, and Quando Rondo, homie, popped out the cut and popped him. Like any real homie would do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's how the whole world, including myself.
All you have to do is read the play. Just read the play. Little Tim is sitting back, driver's side, behind tent, directly across from where Von will be exiting the vehicle at. Quando Rondo is leaning inside the passenger side front. So therefore, as soon as Von gets out of the car, Little Tim can let Quando know, action. And as soon as Von starts walking, why all of a sudden, not Von catches him at the passenger door leaning into the car. He catches him walking, he walks to meet him. You understand me? Stand your ground law. This is what this is. Everybody was disarmed. This is so easy. It's so easy. It's clearly a setup. And then when my son is picking up Von up off the ground, when he pulls up to get him, Little Tim and them are bagging out in their white truck. You see the Hellcat hit brakes to allow them to leave when if you were on our side, you're going to ram this car so they can't go anywhere. But you see a hesitant so they can bag out and so they can leave. This is clear. Anybody that watches the tape, they'll see the Hellcat hesitates and pauses so they can get away. Not you ram them so they can't go anywhere. This is easy. And
who was driving the Hellcat?
Vonnie.
Okay, your son. So that's who drove them to the hospital?
Yeah, that's who drove them to the hospital. Oh, I got them there in 0.2 seconds. I don't care what time you got them there, he still died. But this is what it was. I mean, this is what it was. This is what it was, man. Like I said.
Man, this shit crazy. I'm still.
How Little Tim, just pay attention to this. Chicago got gangsters in it for real. I don't know nobody that's finna jump out shooting with the police, CPD got their lights on, less than 3 feet away from them. You finna pull out your gun and start shooting, and 12 outside, less than 5 feet away from you with their lights on. You finna start blowing, and then everybody gets shot in Von's entourage. Allegedly Track, allegedly BJ. We know Louis got shot. We know Slutty got shot. This dude lay on the ground all the time with his gun in his hand, gets in the car and leave with his gun and don't get killed. Make that make sense. Everybody on our side got shot and killed.
Who we talking about right now?
We talking about Lil Tim. Lil Tim laid on the ground the whole time with his gun and never got shot and was able to get up off the ground with his gun and get in the car and leave. This is simple assessment. How off-duty Atlanta police there with squad cars and nobody gets shot? Who hired them to be there? Whose payroll was y'all on?
Monaco.
Monaco couldn't have never hired them because they pull it up public record. You're going to see that they were inactive, licensed inactive. I'm not going to say this and it's not true. You can research it for yourself. Licensed inactive. So if they was hired them to be there, then we got to be, but like I told, we can't sue because guess what? It took place in the parking lot. That's not probably a public parking lot. That's probably not Monaco's. It didn't happen inside of the establishment. So this takes them out of the way of being sued. This happened outside. This didn't happen in Monaco. So yeah, their license was inactive. Did this take place inside of our club? No, it didn't. So how are you going to hold us liable? This is a public parking lot. So therefore we can't sue Monaco. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't see how Monaco could hire some off-duty Atlanta police to secure the place when it's public record that they're illegally open. So therefore these police, their background needs to get checked, and I guarantee you they got to be dirty, because how you ain't gonna check this place? How are we gonna hire some CPD to secure the 50-yard line on 75th Street and people just got shot there last week? And the CPD don't know that this place is closed down because people just got shot there last week and they finna secure the 50-yard line? Come on, this is easy. This bubblegum, Mickey Mouse, all day long. Only people that can't see it. But those who God give vision to, you see the play clear as day. You see it, it's easy. It's easy.
Yeah, I guess it's just a little hard for me to believe it. I don't know if I'm being biased. Maybe I am. You know what I'm saying? Because I do represent Long Live King Von. And I do represent Free Smirk. And I'm here to represent Free Vonnie in front of Vonnie's father. You see what I'm saying? So I might be a little blind. I might be a little blind. I might be a little naive. And that's the reason why I'm talking to you this evening. You see what I'm saying? But regardless whether it's true or false, this your son we talking about. You know what I'm saying? So as a father to be, I'm over here in my mind like, man, whatever the fuck my son got going on, I'm gonna protect him. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, we black and we against these white folks. So what's going on in the streets, that's going on in the streets. And you know, we got to deal with that how we deal with that. But I guess I'm just trying to really grasp the concept of going against the grain, going against your son. Like, that's all I'm trying to, you know, like,
This is
fuck the homies. This your son.
this
You see what I'm saying?
this real Cain and Abel type shit. Von was like my son, and this just what it is. You know what I mean? It's
Hey,
just,
hold on. Von was like your son, but Vonnie is your son.
But guess what?
That's who came out your nut. Not King Von. King Von didn't come out your testicle, K Von did. Not Davon. You see what I'm trying to say? So I'm listening to you right now. You see I'm sweating. I told you we gonna get hot in this motherfucker. Because I'm passionate about what I talk about. I'm passionate about what I put on my platform. You see what I'm saying? You steady bigging up Davon. But you throwing K-Von under the bus. And K-Von came out of your nut. So make it make sense for me today, Please make it make sense.
Wrong is wrong. When you do family, when you get down on people and you do it, that's that another, and you don't fix it and you don't rectify it, like I said, I might have would have backdoored somebody at that age that I wasn't close to and ties to. You don't get down on real people. You don't do that. You don't get down on real people. I can't never honor that. Silk was like my brother, not blood related. Anything that's attached to him, I love it. Anything that's attached to me, he love it. That's just what it is. And like I said, when I love for real. My son is my son. We've been around each other. Why you had to take me with you to go pay him? How you love me and you take me with you to go pay my nephew's hitters? And more than likely, you use my nephew's money on pay for his own hit. Hopefully that he got it back from, because I know he had to get hit by Young Boy. I know he had to get hit by these other people once Mission was taken care of. You know what I mean? But more than likely, my nephew's own money paid for his own hit. This is horrible. This is crazy. You could have left me at the crib, so I ain't got no knowledge of this. You know what I mean? So you don't give a fuck about me? Why you take me with you? But like I said, to make sure that I was going to protect him and make sure this, that, and other. But like I said, guess what? Nigga, you locked up now for allegedly sliding for Von. Quando Rondo didn't die, nor did Lil Tim. I guarantee you Lil Pab family smells something fishy about their son's death. I guarantee you this. This is a fact because we know this is orchestrated. I know this is orchestrated. This ain't no get back. Quando Rondo, Lil Tim on our side. Duty Low got robbed and popped by them.
You know, when Von got his stardom, his rap fame, you know, it came via Lil Durk, okay? And, you know, from listening to you, I hear claims that Lil Durk had something to do with Von killing, okay? What's your thoughts on Lil Durk and his involvement?
Know this, the industry is behind everything. My son works for Lil Durk. So everything got orchestrated through my son. So for Durk to ask my son after we dropped the bag off to Lil Tim, was it open? And Von, my son, answered to Durk, it's off the hinges. So that lets you know that he knew what was to take place and what was going on. And he asked him, was it open? Meaning having you take care of the business to make sure that back door is open on Von. And my son answered, it's off the hinges. So that lets you know he was a part of it. And whether it's not the industry, the main culprits behind it, the industry, being Meason, we just gave this man $4 million. We don't got him in a 360 deal. He owned his masters. He owned all this. He ain't had to get drugged through. You brought him in, Mr. Banks. You introduced him to us. We can't control this guy. Your career is gonna go, and his is gonna escalate if he doesn't die. Your career is gonna be done because guess what? We're gonna make sure this paperwork gets out to show that you told about a murder that Von went on, and his person he went on a drill with, they got killed. So the only person that could tell on the murder is the person who paying for the hits and the person who did the hit. So the person who Von went on the drill with, he got killed, so he can't tell on it. So the only person who know about it is the person who paid for the cars, this, that, and other. So you telling about murders. So we're going to bring all this to the light. This is what we're going to do if this person don't get out of it. So I'm not going to solely put it on him. So the industry is the main culprits. The industry is the main people because they're capitalizing off of us and this drill music. They're profiting, they're giving us little chump change, and they're getting trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars. And as I said, they're coming home, and reason why they're coming home? Who pays the politicians? Sports, music, entertainment. This is a $1 trillion industry. Who's paying the judges? The Jews run the world, whether you want to agree to it or not. Cat Williams ain't crazy. Kanye West ain't crazy. Everybody's saying the same thing. Michael Jackson, everybody's saying the same thing. Now you got somebody coming that's not in the industry, myself, and I'm telling you the same thing. So when y'all gonna wake up? And as Von said, if somebody killed me, it's gonna be from the inside. Now he putting cap in his raps, so y'all gotta listen to something else. Now he lying in his raps. When this is a person that's known for not lying in his raps, and he literally told you if I die, the ops know not to play with me. This happened from the inside. This is simple assessment. When he put that O.T.F chain on that boy and that gray Nike tech suit, this is simple. I would have bonded you out. You could have stayed in my house. When Von was fighting his body in 2 attempts, he didn't even have a lawyer. He didn't have a lawyer, a paid lawyer. When Durk was on the Breakfast Club and Angela Lee said, whoo, you went to trial. That must have been pretty expensive. How you beat it? With a lawyer? What you think his brother gonna be sitting here with $300,000 worth of jewelry on and he not have a lawyer? Vaughn had a public defender. Matter of fact, Balo had to change one of his public defenders and get him another public defender because the first public defender wasn't doing a good enough job. Even though a public defender is a real attorney, they just have to take so many cases pro bono for the state. You know what I mean? But he didn't even have a lawyer. You know what I mean? So this lets you know, regular street dudes that ain't got no change piece together and put up money so they guys can get lawyers. How his so-called brother, but like he said, evil twin. Evil twin, pay attention to that. Evil twin, and then Back in Blood. The same, you know what I mean? Come on, all this, it's easy. It's easy, just read and pay attention to the signs. It's easy. I know y'all don't want y'all favorite rapper to beat and backdoor this man, but this is just what it is. And it's straight facts. It's straight facts. Do I hate it? I hate it. I hate that I'm here having to speak about this. I'd rather any of his ops got out and killed him because this is what come along with the street shit. Not his own people setting him up to get killed. This is insane. It's insane. It's insane. There's been many enemies he got. He just said somebody gonna get him, but we ain't gonna pay the people to get him. How I'm mad at Quando, Rondo, and Lil Tim? Never. But as I said before,
Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel so we can get up in the algorithm.
Inshallah, your heart has changed because anybody can become Muslim. You got to scan a person's heart. The heart is what makes you a good person. If your heart ain't shit and you Muslim, you just Muslim by name because your heart is everything. Quando Rondo know a Muslim paid him to kill a non-Muslim at the time because when he got paid to kill Von, they got paid to kill Von. Von was a Muslim. Von didn't become Muslim till August 6th. This is when he became Muslim and took his Shahada. So anything that he did after that, God gave him a clear slate. But just so Quando will know, you know a Muslim paid you to kill another Muslim. Once he found out Von became Muslim, he was supposed to call that hit off. So Quando Rondo, don't be fooled by Assalamu Alaikum because everybody that say Assalamu Alaikum to you is not your brother. This is simple. Simple.
Yeah, you getting deep. So let's just go back to the beginning of your response. When you was referring to the lyrics from King Von's song When I Die. He said, don't let them goofies touch my casket when I die. And when you leave my funeral, you better slide. But if they kill King Von, then something is not right. The ops don't play with me. That happened from inside. See, I'm just saying. Von don't be playing. And if they kill him, that shit was planned. See, I'm just saying. Von don't be playing. And if they kill him, that shit was planned. This is what King Von rapped in his own song, in his own lyrics. A song called When I Die on his grandson album that came out after he died. Me as a DJ, I listen very closely to lyrics. You know what I'm saying? Because we live in a time where if you rapping about it, you gotta be about it, right? You can't be rapping none that ain't going on. Otherwise, we ain't gonna feel it. So when I listened to this song after Von died, I said, damn, you heard what he said? So as I'm listening to you repeat his lines, you know you kind of breaking it down. He said, man, if they kill King Von, that shit happened from inside. This shit getting deep, because I can tell you this, man. I done talked to some of King Von ops, right? I done interviewed the real ops, not no Quando, Rondo, and Lil Tim. I'm talking about in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically, I'm talking about K.I. Mama. I interviewed K.I. Mama. It's on my channel. You can go watch it. I want everybody to go watch it while I'm mentioning this right now.
May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have mercy on her daughter's soul.
And shout out to Mama K.I. Shout out to Miss Brown for sure. I'm going to share something with you that she shared with me off camera. She told me, she said, I salute Von. This is what she said. She said, because Von was the only nigga that was gangster enough to do that to my daughter. That shit gave me the chills. I said, hold on. She said, yeah, I give it to him. He was the only nigga that was gangster enough to... She said them niggas was scared of my daughter. You know what I'm saying? So we getting deep right now, you know, and we talking about murders. We ain't supposed to be talking about this on the internet. But nowadays, like I told you, it became a thin line between content and reality, and the reality has been hovering over into the content. You know what I'm saying? So I heard you speak about, you know, how King Von became Muslim, and how once you become Muslim, that what you say it erase
All your bad deeds leave, all your good deeds stay. All your bad leave, all your good stay.
Now
So you're
that's
a newborn baby.
now that's as far as the religion is concerned. But for the world who is not part of that religion, this nigga's a killer. Fuck what religion he done became. No offense, right? But I can't forget what he done did in the past, even though Allah can. You know, you got people out here hurting. You got people out here suffering, right? So, what makes King Von so special that we're still talking about his death 5 years later? When there have been 100 niggas in Chicago that have been killing and have been dying, we ain't talking about them no more. Is it because he was a rapper?
It's because God, the creator of heavens and earth, he put a special light in him. He put a special nur in him for him to still be lingering on and for it to still be going on. As I say, who cares what the world thinks of you? It's about where our final destination is going. And like I said, for any Muslim that knows their religion, all of them going to tell you that Von won. So this is what it is. This is just, regardless of what, the human being can hold on. As I told a person before, he said, so if a person become Muslim, then you got to forgive them. I said, let me tell you this. A person killed your mama, robbed her, she gave him her pocketbook, and they still got down and killed your mama, and they become Muslim, yeah, you got to forgive them, but guess what? You don't got to look at that person every day. You be over there, I ain't gonna do nothing to you. You Muslim now, you be over there and I'll be over here. Because you don't want that temptation. You know your mother was a sweet lady. You didn't have to kill my mama. And if she gave you her pocketbook, you still killed her. And because you become Muslim now, I got to forgive you. Yeah, I'm going to forgive you because God tell me to forgive you. But guess what? I'm not going to look at you. I'm not going to put this temptation and look at this person that killed my mama. And just because he Muslim, I got to forgive him. But I'm not finna play with my soul and play with my chest and play with my emotions like that and look at my mama's killer every day. Because he Muslim, I'm going to forgive him. And I'm going to look at him every day. Why would you do yourself like that? Don't do that. You go over there, I ain't looking for you, we ain't looking for each other. You, I salam you, that's it. But we not finna be around each other. We can't. That's not right. And as far as this your son, men do things out of wisdom. Women do things out of emotion. They do things out of emotion. Some men probably do accept their sons that's going the other way, but the mother's gonna embrace them wholeheartedly. And they can bring their friend with them and everything. But 9 times out of 10, the dad ain't going for none of that. You know what I mean? I love you, son. You do what you do over there. You know what I mean? I still love you and bet nobody mess with you. You know what I mean? Long as it's about something civilized, I'm rolling with you. You know what I mean? But the mother, they gonna embrace that foolishness because that's how the mother's created. She's created compassionate and merciful. That's why God say, love your mother, love your mother, love your mother, and then your father. Love your mother 3 times more than the father because paradise lies at your mother's feet. All civilization comes from a woman. Women are the queen of the earth. So for all these people that's becoming Muslims, it's more important to empower the woman. As Von was having problems with his kid's mom, getting his son at the particular time, and I told Von, you know, forgive me. I said, it's about truth. This is who it's about. If the mother don't know nothing, the kid ain't gonna know nothing. It's about empowering the women and make sure the women have knowledge. This is where it needs to start at because they're the first teachers of the children. The women, more than likely, the man is in the streets getting money and making money, this, that, and other. If the mama is sitting home with the kid and they watching the Kardashians all day, what the kid gonna have? The mother is the most important person to teach, the mother. You know what I mean? So that's why I let them know it's about your daughter. As long as we can get her and get her right, this, that, and other, it's good. I mean, but he was blessed. He was blessed.
So, out of all the time within these 5 years, right? What made you come forward with this newfound information that you have about the night that King Von was murdered?
This is newfound information to the world, but this is not newfound information to anyone that knew me from November 10th,
Right.
2020. Everybody in O Block, everybody in the whole city of Chicago knew what took place. As I said, they put the rat emoji. I got in Trench's DM.
Okay.
He said, man, get up with Nut. I ain't the one, woo woo. Check him
Right.
out. He's still online. Da 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 da.
Right.
I said, man, I ain't on that. Da 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 da. And it ended up being, I end up talking to him. And as I'm talking to him, he doing his record.
He was recording.
He recording,
Okay.
doing his record.
Okay.
And once he gonna put it out there, I got to go ahead and go with it now. And I done already told him, my old girl done slid on me and told me, hey, I don't want to hear nothing about that. That's still your son, da 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 da. My mama done told me that.
Right.
So I say, no, but he didn't already put it out there, so I got to go ahead and go with it now. It's what it is. And like
So
I said,
Trench's News is the reason we here.
yeah, Trench's News is the reason we're here. I mean, like I said, it's what it is, and it was time. Everything happens for a reason. God is the reason that we're here. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the reason that we're here, because it's time for the world to know. You know what I mean? And like I said, if I'm killed for speaking the truth, I won. That's it. Ain't no doubt at all in what I'm saying. Everything I'm saying is 1,000% the truth. So if a person murders me for speaking the truth, whether it be the rappers or whether it be the industry, I don't live for this life, I live for the next life. And if I die and drill music dies behind it, I really won, because I saved the whole generation of people. Yeah. Because now they're gonna realize, here's a person that's not in the industry telling us about the industry. The same thing that the people are getting millions off of. Kanye checking millions, Michael was checking millions, Cat Williams checking millions. Everybody's saying the same thing. Now here come a person that's not in the industry telling you, hey man, they run the world. They control this. Ain't nobody that's getting millions, from Vlad to academics to all these people. It seems like they're enemies to one another, but I guarantee you they probably under the same umbrella. You know what I'm saying? So we got to keep conflict to make it seem like that we ain't together. Like I said, how Duty Low get shot by one of the Quando Rondo and them people when we paid them to kill Von? Now, whether they got the chain or not, yeah, well, they got the chain or not, whatever the case may be. Did he cut himself on the leg with a knife and go to the hospital and say he got grazed? Who knows? But for a person to literally take a shot from some people that we paid to kill Von, never. How? Make it make sense. It's not gonna happen. It's impossible. Do we got his chain? Yeah, we got his chain. Did we cut him on the arm? Did we do some faking, shooting, some gunshots and this, that, and the other? Yeah, but to literally actually be shot, and who shoots somebody in the leg anyway? But he wouldn't even take a gunshot for the leg. Now, I'm not even finna play like that. We not even finna play and shoot it so I can get a scrape. We finna, never. I'm not finna do that. We on the same team. So we ain't finna do that. I'm gonna cut myself with a knife and say I got grazed or whatever the case may be, and put some gunpowder there, make it seem like I got shot, but I'm not never finna fake take no shot in the leg, man. Let me pop you in the leg so we can make this look good for the internet. You might hit a main artery and I die. We ain't finna play like that. So I know he ain't take no leg shot. Just, that ain't happen. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody finna do that. Ain't nobody that crazy, because you can die from a leg shot.
So you believe Duty Low didn't even get shot?
How? How he get shot and we paid Lil Tim to be there? We paid Lil Tim to be, we paid Little Tim to be there. So now they gonna backdoor us. Like I said, Quando Rondo know that Lil Tim got shot. They had to sacrifice Lil Pab, because can't nobody fall from O.T.F. and can't nobody fall from y'all side. O.T.F. some hoes. As dude said, they ain't talking, I ain't here to scream, get back for Von no more. People kind of quiet. Shit, I don't know why they ain't screaming, because Lil Tim and Quando Rondo ain't died. What the fuck you mean? Why they quiet? I ain't here and get back for Von no more. The people that allegedly was a part of it, they didn't die. Somebody that ain't had shit to do with it died. So why they ain't still screaming, get back for Von? Please explain that to me.
Well, I guess I don't want to get into that because that's an open case. You know what I'm saying?
And they coming home. It's an open case and they coming home, whether they get found guilty, and when Trump get out of office, he pardon them. Because guess what? This wasn't supposed to happen. Y'all left a loose end untied. This man just unraveled every fucking thing y'all put together. So guess what? Y'all was going to be fighting this case for a little while and y'all was going to get found not guilty. But guess what? Change of plans. You got to go to jail now. You got to get sentenced to this. And guess what? When Trump's get out of office in these 4 or 5 years, you're going to get a pardon coming. But everything's been derailed, what we set up from the beginning, because y'all left a loose end untied. This man just exposed to the whole world everything that took place We had the whole world. We done painted you a picture because y'all intentionally got caught. Y'all intentionally got caught. How am I saying to someone, don't put no cards or don't put nothing in my name? I think street dudes nowadays, even though I believe that they can hear it, people use FaceTime audio and FaceTime. So you sent a text message, don't do nothing in my name, and you turn around and use company credit cards when you could have loaded money on a prepaid debit card to pay for these flight tickets and all this shit. Or matter of fact, forget flight tickets, we hitting the skiway. We hitting the highway. Bogus plates or whatever, we hitting the highway. We ain't finna have no, we done all got on the plane, y'all intentionally and purposely got caught. This is a part of the sacrifice. This is part of it. Jail, all this is a part of the sacrifice, man. That's it. That's it. And like I said, how Dirk had something to do with Von. He's sitting in there fighting for the rest of his life, fighting, facing a life bit. How he killed Von. How he had backdoored him. And this man fighting for his life. Come on, make that make sense. All the rumors is garbage, man. Dirk ain't had nothing to do with Von. And guess what? When he come on after he beat the case of however he bigger than life. He bigger than life. But what y'all don't know is he really did. But he couldn't have did it without my son. He couldn't have did it without my son. And like I said, he's probably not the sole person. The industry is at the top of it. You know what I mean? The industry at the top of it because y'all can't, he worth more dead to him than alive. If we gave you $4 million, we definitely had at least a $400 million or a $40 million life insurance policy on you. You definitely high risk. So how we give you $4 million and we ain't got no life insurance policy on you for at least $40 million or $400 million? How we don't? Who don't want a return on that? $4 million to get $40 million in 2 years, 3 years. Who don't want that return? That's an excellent return. And it's got to take place. Like I said, I ain't gonna solely put it on Dirk. Got to put it on the industry as well. Because the industry, this is who got these men wearing purses and painting their fingernails and all this shit. NEL Chopper, he worshiped the ground Von walk on. This man speaking out to, he looking crazy and doing all this old weird, crazy shit. The industry is painting this picture. They're pushing this agenda. They pushing this agenda. They using us. They put Barack Obama in here to pass all these rights, to pass all this stuff. He put all these laws into effect. They using us. We they pawns, we they people that they duping and giving us a little change to do it. Got these men carrying purses. Got all this old crazy stuff, man. Painting their fingernails, all this. And these is, but it's for the money. And once you sell your soul, you gotta do everything that they say do. That's just it. You gotta do everything that they say do. I don't know all of them, but some of them might have slipped out, some of them might have didn't slip out, because I can't see people speaking out against them and they're in bed with them. You know what I mean? Unless you got to cast some controversy, you got to everybody can't be, everybody can't be in line. So we got to put that theory out there and this, that, another, because I don't know. But like I said, it's real.
Well, one thing you just said that stood out, you say it's about the money. You know what I'm saying? So, what you exposing your son, is it about the money?
No, it's about freeing my nephew up from Lil Durk.
But your nephew is dead. You talking about King Von, you say nephew, right?
Yeah.
But he gone.
He gone, but I'm
But your son is in jail.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm listening to you.
Freeing my nephew up from Lil Durk is this. I don't want to see no long-lived King Von free Lil Durk. It don't go together. It's an oxymoron. The truth is the truth, man. I don't care whether you like it or not. The truth is the truth. It's just what it is. Yeah, that's my son. And guess what I told his mama? You got the audio. I told his mama, guess what? This is my son. I know you got tricked. I forgive you. Later on, we going to line them up. Later on, we going to line them up because I know they, Later on, we going to line them up. But you rolling with these people over your family, over your father. Me and my son against the world. Me and him against the world. You submit, this is what it is. All right. It's what it is. We're going to take care of that. We do everybody good, but we're going to line them up because you don't get down on no real people. You don't get down on no real people, but like I said, it had to come from the top. Yeah, it had to come from the top, meaning the industry.
So listen, I feel like based off my observations and based off listening to you, I feel like you feel some type of way because your son took you with him to go pay for this hit, but he didn't break you off. Like he didn't give you no bread. You didn't get no bread from the situation at all. So now you just like, man, fuck all this. I didn't get paid. Why did he take me with him and I didn't get paid. That's kind of the perception I'm getting right now. Is that accurate?
I would rather my son had not backdoored Von and Von be here broke. You understand me? I'd rather him still be alive so he can be here for his children, because financial money is not being a father. You need that presence. You know what I mean? You need the presence. So I'd rather, but that's done. That part is done. So he gone. But guess what? You took me with you for this, and you didn't make sure I was good. Once I let you know, I remember everything. This is what you did. All right, Dad, you tripping. I don't know what you're talking about. Man, my Bitcoin took off. My trucking business took off. Here go $1 million, man. Pay me back in 3 years or whatever the case may be. Whatever. I don't know what you're talking about. You crazy, Pops. I don't know what you're talking about. But you know what I said.
And I'm going to be 100 with you
sure.
right now, You give me the vibes that you would have been extorting your son. If you knew your son had that money, you would have been on his ass every week asking for some money. Them the vibes you give me right now, Unc. I swear to God.
I ain't got it. It ain't no extort. The bottom line is this. He could have been in the trunk and tied up and this, that, and other, call for that bag. This what it is. But I leave it alone and let Allah deal with it, because his grandmama, his mama, his sisters, his brothers, everybody gonna have a problem. You know what I mean? They're gonna have a problem, but it's 1,000% for sure. He got the money. 1,000% for sure. He got the money. And tax free. You know what I mean? Him and his old girl. It's just what it is.
We read.
And I got the bank statements to prove it.
You showed me bank statements.
I got the bank statements. I got the statements to prove it. And I got bankers. I opened Von's bank account up at Chase Bank. Before Von got murdered, I was at Von's mother's house. And I told Von's mother, I said, if something happens to them, we're going to have hell and high water trying to get this money from Von's mama. From Kayvon's mother, because he's on the thing and you're not on the bank accounts. So I took Tasha, Von, we went to Chase Bank.
Tasha's Von's mom.
We went to Chase Bank on 9th and Wabash. I stayed in the car, sent them inside the bank so she can get added to the accounts. The banker in there told me, after Von died, as I call him, he said he received a call and everything got derailed, and I was wondering why this account was opened up in Fort Lauderdale. And he's from Chicago and Atlanta. Why is this in Fort Lauderdale? So he asked me this. It's a private account. You can't go into people's accounts. It's going to flag, red flag, because this is $1 million accounts, private accounts, private client. So he asked me this. He said, do they have a safety deposit box? I said, no.
That was the main question?
I asked him. No, he asked me, did they have a safety deposit box? I said, no.
Okay.
This was the response.
Oh, the head nod was the response. Okay, I'm picking up.
Okay.
Right.
Not saying nothing, but okay. Hey, what's up? What's up with that safety deposit box? Von didn't have a safety deposit box, dumbass. I had a safety deposit box for my silver and my coins, right? This is what my son tells me when I say, what's up with that safety deposit box? He say, Von didn't have a safety deposit box, dumbass. I had a safety deposit box for my silver and my coins. Lo and behold, the letter come to Von's mama house. Safety deposit box has been closed with Kayvon Grant and Davon Bennett. Woo, woo, woo. So he had a safety deposit box. He take all the money out, all the money Von had in his video shoots, all the money you see him counting with BJ right there through the money counter. All this is real money. All this money gets taken out on video shoot days and stuff like that. So it's making it seem like we're doing these large withdrawals and stuff like this for video shoots and da-da-da-da-da. So everything is adding up. So when it's time to go to the safety deposit box, you don't need Von because you got the key and your name is on the account when you kill him. So now you got all the money, you got everything. And like I said, when I let them know, I seen the video that said, where's the video at? What you concerned about a video? Well, how can Tasha be a mama and let a kid that don't know another kid be on bankroll, be on bank accounts for millions and she don't do nothing? But as soon as I said, we going to check that safe deposit box out, y'all got people, how people gonna check out, where the video at? What you concerned about it for? Are you worried that your son is on tape going to get the money? Is that what you worried about? But it's what it is. I mean, it's just what it is, man. It's what it is. It's what it is. And like I said, this is new to the world, but this is not new to the court systems. I owe my kid's mama $11,200 child support for my passport. $11,200. I wrote to the judge, told him everything. Wrote to the judge, gave it to him everything, my case number, everything on there. This is what happened. This is what role she played in it. This is what it is. This is what it is. So the world is just not knowing about this, but the Chicago been knowing about this.
So the rumors of O.T.F. Vonnie stealing like 300 to 400K from
That was
Von,
downplayed.
it was way more than that.
Come on, man, millions. It was millions. I mean, it was downplayed. I mean,
Now,
it's just
with
what
the
it is.
bank statements that you did share with me, I was reading, April, May, June of 2020. Von had over $1 million in his bank account.
That's one account. He had accounts at Navy Federal as well.
Yeah. Von was getting money. Von was paying me $500 a show. Goddamn it, when nobody else paying me $500 a show. You know what I'm saying? So Vonnie had access to Von's finances, basically.
Yeah.
Vonnie is somebody that King Von trusted. I know
because of me.
Okay.
And he smelled them later on. He smelled them later on. Von was, snakes gonna be with snakes. Real people gonna be with real people. That's just bottom line. Snakes gonna be with snakes. We in Philadelphia. Same day he did the $1 million worth of game.
Okay.
I'm there. We in the car. Von say, some money came up missing from the crib. TB was there, Buka, Slutty, and maybe some other person. 5,000 came up missing. And my son was there. Slutty had to take it. This is what I tell him.
Okay.
Say Slutty had to take it. These people got money. No, my son ain't took it. His name on all the millions. I'm going 0 to 1,000 like I'm going 0 to 1,000 about this that I know. Because this is common sense. We all millionaires in the room. We got one person in the room that ain't got no money. Everybody in here got at least $300,000-$400,000 in their account. Everybody in this room. The person that ain't got no money is the person that took it. This is a simple assessment. Simple assessment.
So you believe Slutty stole from Von?
Listen.
That's crazy.
Listen. Von told me, I don't know, Unc. Just like that, calmly. Slutty died with him that night. Slutty ain't took $1 from him. And Von said, they know they can ask me for whatever they want. My son took it to try to eliminate real people from around you. Who's going to think it's 5 millionaires in this room? It's 5 millionaires in this room and one broke person. 5 millionaires and one broke person and $5,000 come up missing. This common sense. The broke person took it. The broke person took it. It's 5 millionaires in here. How could this, they never. The person that ain't got no money took the money. These is 5 millionaires in this room. But out of these 5 millionaires, one of these people is paying chess. He trying to eliminate the real people from being next to this man, because guess what? Who popped Lil Tim? Slutty. Who died with him that night? Slutty. Real ones. Nigga, you got to be crazy. We ain't finna put our pipes up till folks get inside this establishment. And when it's time for them to come out, we waiting at the door with the pipes. Fuck, we finna walk him to the door for, and we ain't got no blicks on us. You got to be stupid. So folks walk him to the door, and that's how Lil Tim got shot. Because he ain't putting up his pipe. You got to be stupid. You can't control me. I got sense. I got sense. You ain't finna tell me to put my pipe up. Never. Ain't gonna happen like that. Not with the real one. But like I said, Von peeped it. Said, I don't know, just like that. Knowing right then and there, you know, it's what it is. He peeped it. He peeped it. Von was highly intelligent, highly smart, highly book read. He was highly smart. He was smart. He was smart. And as I say this, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala used me to guide him to Islam. And so therefore, with my son away from me and I can't see him now, inshallah, I'm able to get my life back together, because this has been killing me. It's been killing me, literally killing me. Can you imagine how a person, a human being would feel if this really took place? You know what I mean? This really, really took place, and you didn't put all this hard effort into these people to make sure that they succeed and make sure that they be okay. It's what it is. I mean, I moved them to Atlanta. Moved them there. Couldn't take it. Unc, where you at? I'm hungry. Where you at? Da-da-da-da-da. Please leave. Please leave. Please, I can't take it. And he left. Alhamdulillah. And everything went up from him writing Crazy Story on the Greyhound bus. That's where he wrote Crazy Story at, on the Greyhound bus. Period. And whole life changed. I'm telling him, wait till I sell his house, wait till I sell his house. He blew up before I blew up. It's just what it was. But everything is already written. You know what I mean? So it's what it is.
For sure. Crazy Story was definitely, according to King Von, was written on the Greyhound bus.
Facts.
And it became a hit single. You know, as a DJ in Atlanta at the time, I can tell you, everybody was playing Crazy Story at every club in Atlanta. Still to this day, whole time, you can't go to no club in Atlanta without hearing, I got a drop from this flexing nigga, he from Tennessee. I had a thought she was with the shit. You told me where he be. You know what I'm saying? I said for sure.
Don't forget to
baby,
like,
let me know.
share,
You know
comment,
how it
and
go,
subscribe to the channel so we can get up in the algorithm.
This get deep because right now, Lil Durk is in jail. And for the past several years, you know, it's been a ongoing beef between Lil Durk and NBA YoungBoy, right?
Controversy sells records.
Controversy sell records, and controversy also sell interviews.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be the one to admit to you that, right? So I took a trip down to Louisiana and interviewed one of NBA YoungBoy homies. You see what I'm saying? And once I mentioned King Von, shit just went left instantly. You know? So I just been kind of trying to get to like the bottom of the tension, the resentment. Like, how did all of this even start? That's why I'm still confused at.
Fake people don't like real people. Fake people don't like real people. You know what I mean? Real people that ain't gonna bite their tongue. I don't care how much money you got. I don't care what you got. This what it is. So once NBA YoungBoy and Von been around each other, this, that, and other, and they see, cause they even got a song together. You know what I mean? And you see that
Who do? I know
NBA
Dirk.
YoungBoy and Von got a song
They
together.
do?
Yes.
Oh shit.
So, but once you
It's unreleased, right?
of course.
Cause I know Dirk and YoungBoy got a song.
So,
go ahead,
but the thing is, once you realize I'm not stooping to you and beckoning and fetching because you got a bag and because you controlling all these other dudes, you can't control me. You know what I mean? People don't like that. People want to be able to control people. You can't control no real dude. You ain't finna, I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say. Nigga, you bogus, woo, woo, woo. Like he said, I even heard him when he let Breezy know. When dude tried to get down on Breezy, and Breezy, he was trying to send the house up to go shoot up Breezy because Von was messing with one of dude bras. I mean, because Breezy was messing with NBA YoungBoy bras. This, and that, and other. That's sucker shit, nigga. You know what I mean?
Who is Breezy?
600 Breezy.
Okay.
600 Breezy. I think he was messing with one of YoungBoy bras or something like that. And YoungBoy finna send the people come through, ad out. And Von told, where you at? Hit him on the line. Where you at? Man, get up out of there, dude, on some fool shit. Da-da-da-da-da. So he pulled his coattail. So this the type of shit that dude be on. But like I said, paint his nails black. You know his background. You know his criminal history. How this man get that little bit of time? How he get a pardon by Donald Trump, man? Donald Trump ain't never been in the same room with him. Donald Trump has been in the room with Puffy on several occasions. Several occasions. You think this man ain't gonna get a pardon when it's time? What do you know about some NBA YoungBoy? But this all that Illuminati, this all that higher elite type stuff. What man gonna paint their nails, man? What person doing that? Colored polish at that. Come on, who do that, man? Who doing all that, man? How little baby getting hugged by this dude from the back and smiling? Not, nigga, get your ass up off me. Now you smiling like you like this shit. How this nigga got on little bitty shorts with baby and tattoo with a pink belt and all this gay ass shit, man? Once you sell your soul, this is the agenda that they're trying to push. They know the black people are the real kings and queens of this earth. The Arab that you see today is whitewashed. The Jew that you see today is whitewashed. But guess where you stop it? Stop reproduction. Stop reproduction. This is my theory, that they're injecting these kids, African American kids or black kids, they're injecting them at birth with hormone drugs. So that's why you seeing this little kid at 3 years old and 4 years old with homosexual tendencies, because they inject them with birth because they want to stop reproduction. They want to control the population. If a man with a man, you ain't having no babies. The woman with the woman, you ain't having no babies. We the real kings and queens of this earth for the next Mahdi to come. The person who will govern and rule everything over the world, they trying to prevent it, but they can't stop what God has already made that's gonna happen. But this is just my intuition and my opinion that how it's too widespread now. It's everywhere now. It's everywhere. Are they hitting these kids before they come out the womb or when they come out the womb with a hormone drug? You know what I mean? It's making them this way because no person is born like that. God destroyed all in Sodom and Gomorrah for that and left the ruins in the Dead Sea for you to see today. That's why nothing grows in the Dead Sea. This is where Sodom and Gomorrah is at. It's there for the human beings to see that this is not what it is. And it's just what it is, man. It's just what it is. And this is the agenda that they pushing. Kill, drill music, bitch, hold, this, that, and other. And it's demasculating our people. It's killing our people. And they making trillions and trillions of dollars off of it. That's it. You talking conscious. We don't want to hear about poor righteous teachers. We don't want to hear about Boogie Down Production. We don't want to hear about them people. We got to talk about kill, 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 murder, murder, murder. That's the only way you finna get a deal.
Yep.
And the people that's trying to talk conscious, they ain't, you ain't got no raw time, so we ain't even gonna put that machine behind you. We ain't gonna put that machine behind you, Lupe Fiasco.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But Von didn't have to have a machine. He was natural raw talent. You ain't have to put the machine behind him. He was natural.
But they did put the machine behind him.
You seen it in the contract?
What you mean?
Did you see the machine in the contract?
I saw the dollar signs he got. He got $3 million to talk that shit. What you say, $4 million? You know something I don't know. You know another million I don't know. But I know for a fact it was 3.
Mm-hmm.
So I do have a theory that King Von was used as an industry plant. Okay? Because Empire, the people that signed King Von and gave him all that money, they knew his criminal history. They knew his criminal reputation. They knew his criminal influence. So once they gave him the money to rap about that shit, you see what I'm saying? They knew it would influence a whole generation. And that's when we came with the Bloodhound Lil Jeffs. You see what I'm saying? Trust me, as a DJ, I am conscious to that. You know what I'm saying? And that's the reason why I decided to take this interview with you, because you're opening up the mind. You know what I'm saying? It's very easy to listen to your favorite rapper and take his side on whatever's going on, because that's your favorite rapper. He making songs that make you feel good. I'm going to tell you right now, Lil Durk is my favorite rapper. And he been my favorite rapper since 2012. Why? Because the shit that he rap about, I can relate to. And also because the shit that he rap about, I know it's damn near true. So it hit a little different. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so now with all this chaos going on, it make me feel some type of way, because I'm like, damn, hold on.
He was dissing on my cousin, now he in the wood, huh? Man, I know that's folks' cousin. Fuck Lil Mister.
But listen, that shit.
He gonna flip it and say it's about something else. It's about Mubu, huh? He gonna flip it and say it's about something else, but that's what's supposed to happen. Everything I'm giving you is facts, like I said.
Like you just said, the line you just said, King Von got a line saying, yeah, I know that's folks' cousin, but fuck Lil Mister, right?
Exactly.
They kind of switched it up on this album, the Grandson album, you know what I'm saying? So this is a deep conversation right now, because there's a whole sea of fans. King Von has hella fans. Lil Durk has hella fans. And like, them fans love they dirty draws. You know what I'm saying? They can't do nothing wrong in the fans' eyes. And also NBA Youngboy, he has a huge fan base.
That's all I listened to before Von died. That's all I listened to. You catch it. It's a car. I'm riding with me, Von, and True. Louis might be with us. I'm literally singing.
R.I.P. to Louis.
I'm most definitely R.I.P.
Sure.
R.I.P. to Louis, Duke, Youngin, and all of the believers that passed away, and the ones from the other side, from Duck on down. Rest in peace.
Slutty.
Rest in peace to all of them. Slutty, Trouble, all of them. And even with Slutty, like I said, inshallah, Von and Shaheed. So all of them safe. Slutty asked me to take him to come become Muslim. Trouble asked me to take him to go become Muslim. Even though I could have gave it to him right there, but I wanted to do it in the mosque.
Do you have a relationship with Sadiq Allah? Sadiq Ali?
No,
Sorry, I'm saying his name wrong.
I don't have a relationship with him.
You know who I'm talking about, though, right?
I know exactly.
Okay.
I know exactly who you're talking about. I'm gonna give you this.
Sadiq Ali.
Everybody from Masjid Al-Ihsan, from the Imam, the letter that I sent you that I wrote to the judge, I gave that letter to him first. Muslims should deal with Muslims. Nothing should never come to the internet. The Imam is the leader of the community. If there's a problem with Muslims inside of the community, the Imam has to fix it. You understand? Staying out of it. I'm down at the masjid one day. I'm on the floor. One of the persons who is like the leader of the masjid outside the Imam, Sultan, he gets a phone call from Abdul Manyun, who's the Imam of 39th Street. He got it on speaker. He got it on speakerphone. I'm there talking to Abdul Jabbar Muhammad. So by him having it on speakerphone, he says, Salaam alaikum. He says, Salaam alaikum. He says, Abdul Haq is about to send me a large amount of money. It's going to have to come in 2 payments. Abdul Haq is Little Dirk's father. Okay? Now, I was just there days prior presenting all this information to him that this is what happened and this is what's going on and this is what took place and da-da-da-da-da-da. Staying out of it. Okay. So I'm there. He say about to receive. It's going to have to come in 2 payments. He has no idea that I'm there because who he called just had him on speakerphone. And it's just me and Abdul Jabbar on the Musalla. So I go.
No, not Abdul Bajaj.
No, not the basketball player.
Okay.
No, Abdul Jabbar, we call him Colonel McBride. He was Muhammad Ali's bodyguard, so he says.
I'm keeping it, for the viewers. So
Yeah.
You won't get confused.
So our Eid festival is coming up. And that's the celebration for after Ramadan. You know what I mean? We have a big 3-day celebration after Ramadan. So Duke, Gleesh, Wap, and Youngin wasn't there.
Okay.
We was at my masjid that I attend, 8950 South Stony Island, Masjid Al Farouk.
Right.
We were there, and he said, you coming down to 39th Street? I said, inshallah. So later on, I found out Dirk was there, my son was there, everybody was there. Tears fell from my eyes because I'd have crashed out. Tears fell from my eyes. I was humbled that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala kept me away from there. He kept me away from there. You know what I mean? So, like I said, everybody from the O Block knew about this. Everybody knew about Von. Yeah, Muwap, love Von to death. Love him to death. But there's no way me, the love that I have for for Von's father, Silk, even if Silk was wrong by robbing this person, even if he was wrong by robbing this person or breaking his house or whatever he may have done, I just don't want to see him. But I'm never finna be on a plane with him and don't leave him there. We're not never finna be doing business transactions and doing this, the other, and I know you got rid of my brother. I ain't looking for you. I ain't thinking about you. I don't even want to see you. I don't care about it because what happened has happened. I don't got nothing to do with none of that. But we not finna be kicking it and going to Home Depot every day and doing this and hanging out, and I know you killed my brother. How do I love my brother? If I can be around this person and not tweak out, how do I love him? I can't love him. If I can be around the person that's, come on. So it did make me say this. The breadwinner's gone, everybody concerned about their pockets now. Everybody want Von gone. His family gonna be straight. I gotta make sure my family gonna be straight. You know what I mean? Well, he did what's gone is gone. I'm tripping, whatever. We gotta get this money. You know what I mean? And that's just the way I perceive it, because there's no way possible I could ever be around somebody that killed my brother, and I know it. And I'm comfortable being around him. I'm Muslim now, so I know I don't have the right to avenge. God is the avenger. But for me to be around this person every day and around this person, and I know this man in line Von up, and not only you line Von up, you never confess your sins no one but to Allah. You line Von up and you don't hit somebody from the block with a bag, you know what I mean, or put up somebody from the block on, so when it's time to celebrate birthdays, Duke, Lisa Young, and they ain't got to be going to the Pork Chop Lounge. They getting on the plane. They might not can't get on a private jet, but we getting first class and we getting up out of here. We going to we going to wherever we got to go, because we ain't take the breadwinner away and not leave nobody with nothing. Y'all left the block dry, dead, you know what I mean? How? Can't do that. That's no good. That's no good. You only, come on, man. How y'all let this man come take a picture in front of the mural and y'all know what's up? But like I said, I ain't gonna say people in the block don't love Von, but Von from Killer Ward, Von from Ada Park. You know what I mean? Von from Killer Ward, Von from Ada Park. You know what I mean? Von moved to Parkway. You know what I'm saying? Von from Killer Ward and Von from Ada Park. You know what I mean? So that's just that. You know what I mean? He came over there when he was whatever years old and they developed a bond, but there's no way that I'm gonna be around somebody that killed somebody that's close to me every day. And this is what it is, and I call myself a stepper. How? But like I said, Von gone, his family, his kids gonna be straight, woo. I gotta make sure my family, my kids gonna be straight. That shit gone, that shit dead. I gotta get a bag. And that's just probably their mentality, you know what I mean? Because I just can't, I don't agree with that, you know what I mean? I was raised different, you know what I mean? I can't go like that. I can't go like that. So people, hi, this your son, this your son. I was raised different, around different people, and this is what it is. Like I said, yeah, it's about the money. Yeah, it's about the money. You ain't make sure. I got sisters, brothers, and sisters. You got brothers and sisters. Don't let this just benefit you and your mama. F me for whatever reason, which you don't got the right to say because I'm the one that put all this together. But for whatever reason, at least I told a man, I say, Von bought 6 semi-tractor trailer trucks. Von's cousin Reese was renting a truck from someone to drive. I said, give him a truck. If he gives some money to the family, he gives some money to the family. At least you tried. You didn't pay for none of these trucks. You can't get this man one truck. You didn't pay for none of it. But once again, Von had me get a car for his baby mama, for Missy. I got an Alfa Romeo. I think we put $15,000 down or whatever we put down on the car. Financed the car in my name. Car note, $540. First car note, after Von died, first car note, my son pay. Next car note, he don't pay. I say, what is this? A man entrusts you with millions and millions of dollars, and his baby mama can't even get her car note paid less than 30 days after he dead and gone? $540, not a Rafe note, $5,000. We talking about $540 car note can't get paid? Track. The world finna hear this. King Von baby mama car get repossessed less than 30 days after he dead gone. I smell a rat. How much is the car? How much is it? He wrote that check right away so we can pay it off. Because guess what? The whole world would have knew then. Hold on, who was in charge of his finances? What's going on? A $540 car note can't get paid less than 30 days after he dead and gone? Something is wrong. Track wrote that check, though, to pay that car off. Because like I said, it's all cahoots, everybody together, but this lets you know the type of person we dealing with. You couldn't even pay the car note up for 6 months just to play it off. Nobody hit Slutty. Nobody hit Louis. These people that was wounded in combat. How you ain't drop off 100,000, but you go buy V-Roy chains and you go buy all this? Folks would have rather you gave that V-Roy chain money, split that money up between Louis and between Slutty. You ain't gave none of them no bread, and these people was wounded in combat for your brother. This telltale. Ain't nobody doing nothing for True.
Cause R.I.P. Louis, I took
Come
care
on,
of
man. Louis was a soldier, man.
I took care of Louis
Come on.
because he was a soldier.
Man, this what it is.
Sure, I did.
Every doctor's appointment Louis had, his mama, his sister, and them there tell you. I made sure he was at his doctor's appointments. I made sure he was good. That's it. This is the only piece of my nephew I got left. And from first day, Von right hand. That's what I had him saved in my phone as, Von right hand. And know this. I didn't get the call for Louis until I was walking into the masjid to pray Fajr that day. I went, shot, and got Tasha, picked her up from the crib, shot her to the airport. Once I shot her to the airport, I went to the masjid to pray Fajr. As I'm walking in, on touching the Musalla, Don going off, I get the call. Louis got hit too, boom. Ain't no way you finna kill Von and Louis don't die, and Louis don't get shot. That's the same thing I was telling Von mama about my son and Von. They both gonna die at the same time. One not gonna get shot and the other one don't get shot. That's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. And as you seen, Louis blowing, he don't care police out there, nothing. He hawking them down. That's a real friend. You ain't never had a friend like that. You don't care police out there, what? Y'all killed my man, left him in the street, and I want blood. I don't care if it take my life. Show you how much of a soldier he is. Once he got hit in the head, set back up. Set back up. Set back up. He was the first one to take his shahada out of the crew. I got the video. He was the first one to become Muslim, and Von was the last one out of that immediate circle. You know what I mean? So it's what it is. Alhamdulillah, they won, man. They won. Von was set up. He won. He won. Louis won. It was set up. Slutty won. God rewards you off what you intend. He rewards you off your intentions, whether or not you get a chance to do it or not. This how beautiful, this how merciful God is. Let's just say you're a righteous person in this world, but you don't associate to no religion. I just treat people right. I don't cheat on my wife. I don't steal. I don't rob. I do right. You know what I mean? I might put some change in the homeless person cup when I get to the light, but I don't associate with no religion. You know what I mean? Because I think that's garbage. I think they all pimps. You understand me? But guess what? When you get before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, even though you're never going to leave the face of this earth and not hear about Islam, everyone has to hear about Islam before they leave the face of this earth. But when you get before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and he instruct you to jump in the fire, he instruct you to jump in the fire. This person who I just said was righteous, living upright in life, you ain't got no other choice but to buck. Man, what you mean? I know what I did. That's the same thing you would have did when Islam was brought to you. You'd have rejected it. So guess what? But guess what? That fire that he instructed you to jump in, it really was Jannah. It really was paradise. You know what I mean? But he letting you know, just like you bucking that because you think you did everything right and you didn't, you know you ain't never cheat on your wife. You know you ain't never lie on your taxes. You know you ain't never did all these things when you could have, but you didn't because you fear God and you want to live right and you want to be saved in the next life. But God tell you to jump in the fire. What? Are you kidding? You finna buck. Same thing you would have did when Islam was brought to you. You'd have bucked. Allah is the most gracious, most best thing that anybody can be is Muslim. The best thing, and let's get back to Sadiq Ali. May Allah guide us all and perfect us all and make our character better before we meet him. I mean, no one is perfect. I called Sadiq for Louis' burial money, which was $1,400 or $1,300. He was at the dentist at the particular time. So I call you back, it ain't gonna be a problem, Unc. Call you back. Call me back. He said, how much is it, Unc? Okay, I'm gonna get on top of it. He say, Track. Man, I'm gonna call Track. I don't like him anyway. The manager, 100K Track. Here we go talking about a non-Muslim. We're going to get money from a non-Muslim to bury a Muslim. And then he told me this. He wasn't going to Juma over here with us. He was going to Juma over there with y'all. You know why he wasn't going to Juma over there with y'all? Because y'all harbor his killers. Y'all harbor Von's killers. The reason why he shot in the head. Y'all harbor these people. So why would he go to Juma there? But how could a Muslim suggest for us to get the money from a non-Muslim?
The reason who got shot in the head?
Louis. All this took place because of Louis shot in the head, Slutty dead.
But we talking about Ali right now, right? I'm trying to keep in. I'm
talking about Ali because he said that Louis wasn't going to prayer services with them on 39th Street.
Okay.
And I'm telling him the reason why he not going there because y'all harbor Lil Durk there. Y'all harbor my son there. These are the people that's responsible for Von. And these are the people that are responsible for Louis getting shot in his head. These are the people responsible for Slutty. And y'all know this. But for you to say to me, he wasn't going to Juma over here with us. He was going to Juma over there with y'all. And then for you to say to me to ask a non-Muslim for the money to bury a Muslim, huh? even though that non-Muslim eventually paid it, but guess what? I paid it before the non-Muslim even sent the money. I got the money and paid for his burial because I didn't want the brothers to think that we was delaying them with burying our brother with only 1,400, not 14,000. 1,400. You tell me to call, we gonna call a non-Muslim and get the money to bury a Muslim. This our brother. This our brother. But that just, you know, make that make sense. This is what it is. This is what it is. I mean, this is what it is, the truth. It's the truth. But nobody is perfect. But how you judge a person is by their heart. It's by their heart. You got givers, you got takers, and you got givers. A person that's a giver is what it is. Let me give you a story about me. My Hispanic buddies, black buddy over the house. I go, when Pilsen, I go to the house. But before I get there, tell him, man, Ha's a good dude. He woo-woo, he'll give you the shirt off his back. Woo-woo-woo. This is what the Hispanic is telling the black person. Yeah, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I get to the house, I got on a t-shirt, I got it from JB's. It got studs on it, got a lion head on the studs. I might have paid $100 for it. It was an old shirt, but it was good shape because I don't mess up my stuff. And I walk in the door, and he said, man, nice shirt, Haas, because he has a lion tattooed on his arm. Swear by Allah, he got a lion tattooed on his arm. Gave it to him. Took it straight off my back and gave it to him. Same day he then just told the man before I got there that I'd get a shirt off my back, and the situation really happened where I literally came in and took the shirt off my back and gave it to him because I know he has a lion head tattooed on his arm. You know what I mean? So this just lets you know, a giver, this is just what it is. You know what I mean? Some people is takers and some people is givers. You know what I mean? Even if you don't have nothing, you willing to spit it and you willing to share, you willing to do this. You know what I mean? The upper hand is better than the lower hand, meaning the giver is better than the receiver, if you can, you know what I mean? That's just what it is. You know what I mean? You got to want for your brother what you want for yourself. That's just it. How my plug, I can say it now because he done been on Vlad and everything, and he through with that. My plug used to be Keith Presley.
KP?
KP, that was my plug.
I should have brought his book.
That was my plug. I'm in there. Hold
on, I knew you was finna say KP, because look, shouts to KP.
I'm in the book.
But I bought his book for $1,000.
Yeah.
The book that he's selling for $1,000, I bought that motherfucker. Go ahead.
That was my plug. And he had to teach me. He had to mold me. I ain't been perfect all my life. I ain't been a stand-up person all my life. You know what I mean?
So you know KP?
He gonna tell you we family. Ain't no norm. We family. You know what I mean? That's just what he knew Silk. He went and took the contract for Von to fight Famous Dex. Von said, no, I don't want to fight Famous Dex. I'll fight NBA Youngboy. I ain't get dude gonna blow up off me fighting him opposed to me fighting, you know what I'm saying? Keith got the contract. He took the contract. He met us in O-Block with the contract for Von to fight Famous Dex when they was talking about this. Man, I ain't fighting this dude a bum. You know what I mean? I'll fight NBA Youngboy. I mean, so this is what it is. That's my brother. Keith is my brother. You know what I mean? But just to show you, the upper hand is better than the lower. And this man gave me a chance when nobody else would give me a chance. I had my first money machine at 19 years old. I was at the Tyson fight when Pac got killed. I was there. You know what I mean? This is something that I really did. And the people who you interviewed, they'll tell you, dude was really one of them people. You know what I mean? At the time, and he gave me an opportunity and a chance. But this just lets you know, the giver, the person who's willing to help, the person who's willing to help, this is the person, this is the person. I did something bogus. I took $300,000 from KP. Stop answering my phone. Call my mama. Hey, I'm having a birthday party in Miami. Woo, I want him to come. I got the rooms, I got everything for him. Just tell him to come. You know what I mean? Letting me know this ain't about money. I love you for real. You know what I mean? You basing our relationship on money, but I love you for real, and I love your mom, I love your family. This is, you know what I mean? So we ain't finna let this go away. So
he called his mama.
He called my mother and told my mother for me to come to Florida for the fight. I mean, it was a fight down there and his birthday and this, that, and other, so he wanted me there. You know what I mean? And so I go, iced out, whatever, this, that, and other, everything to upgrade it because I didn't hit a sting on him and this, that, and other. But, man, this ain't about that. You got a bill, we gonna fix it, we gonna pay this bill off, and we gonna do what you gotta do, you know what I mean? Because we ain't gonna base our relationship off money because I love you for real, you know what I mean? And it just, for me seeing a person, you meet a person, and you ain't been knowing them 24 hours, and you take them to Versace and you spend $25,000 on them. And you give me books for 17, I think I should be able to get them for 15. Anytime you meet this broad and spend 30,000 on it, you ain't been knowing her 72 hours. You know what I mean? But as he said, you can't make big money and not take big losses. And you can't count nobody else's bread. You know what I mean? It's just what it is. Be thankful that he gave you opportunity and a chance. You know what I mean? So it's just what it is. It's just what it is.
FBG Duck was killed in the Gold Coast of Chicago's downtown. A luxurious neighborhood or a block, right? A place where you would go shopping for some designer items, some expensive items, and feel like you safe, right? Niggas ain't coming all the way down here to spend this type of money on this shirt, you know? So myself, I feel like if I go to Gold Coast to goddamn it, grab me some Dolce Gabbana or some Dior or some Bathing Ape, you know, I feel like I'm safe because this the Gold Coast. You know what I'm saying? Like, we, you know, FBG Duck lost his life in the Gold Coast in the Dolce and Gabbana line. And there are some guys who are arrested for this murder that's from O Block. You know what I'm saying? These guys are known to be King Von affiliates, his friends. Muwop, C Thing, C Murder. I'm not gonna lie, I don't even know all the names. But what's your thoughts on that situation in that case, and you know how that might play out?
I don't know if they did it or not, but no face, no case. If you don't have anyone positively IDing someone, it's no face, no case. It has to go to Supreme Court. If they do get convicted, which they have already got convicted, if they do get sentenced, once it goes to the Supreme Court, it
Don't
has
forget
no
to
other
like,
choice but to
share,
get
comment,
sent
and
back
subscribe
on
to the
appeal
channel so we
because
can get up in the
there's
algorithm.
no one positively identified. May God rest FBG Duck's soul. May, if it's applicable, may God guide his children and his family to Islam. You know, and may God give Mama Duck whatever it is that she deserved for her to have, for losing her son behind this drill music, and for all the mothers that have lost their sons behind this drill music, because it's garbage. The white folks is benefiting and taking us out, and we killing each other about and getting them rich. You know what I mean? So you never know. The industry could have been behind Duck as well. You know what I mean? You just never know. You just never know. I mean, and you got to look at salespeople in the Dolce & Gabbana store. Rapper come in there, oh, I just bought this. Oh, Duck just bought this for his child too. Da 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 da. So people could be dry snitching and not even knowing it. You know what I mean? And telling on somebody just be happy that they got celebrity clients. You know what I mean? I go in there, oh, I shot with him, I shot with him. So people could drop a dime on a person and not even know that we really enemies. You know what I mean? And Dolce & Gabbana, like they said, inshallah, she gonna get the money from suing them, because how you got a famous person standing outside in a line, but it's COVID, it's by appointment only. You know what I mean? So this is what it is, you know what I mean? But inshallah, that she gonna get what she need, and that's it. You know, it's terrible, man, because like I said, they know we the real kings and queens of this earth, and they want us to kill ourselves. That's it.
Yeah, for sure. And shout out to Mama Duck for sure. You know, I don't have a dog in this fight, even though I am King Von biased because I am his former DJ. And even though I might be Lil Durk biased because that is my favorite rapper for the last 10 plus years, you know? But real is real. Right is right. Wrong is wrong. Content is content. But right now, we not creating no content. We're really getting down to the root of the seriousness. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, and I've been listening to you for these past couple hours, and you've been making sense. I respect the words that's coming out of your mouth, you know? How would I feel afterwards? I can't tell you that right now, because I'm a person that like to have delayed reactions. You see what I'm saying? You could tell me something right now, and I swear to God, it won't register right now. But afterwards, once I wrap this shit up, pack this shit up, you know, I might be thinking like, damn, Craig said this. You know what I'm saying? And I just refer to you as Craig, so I heard other people refer to you Craig. But you know, at this point, I'm referring to you as Unc. You know what I'm saying? And I say Unc with love and respect. Unc is short for uncle,
For sure.
meaning you my daddy or my mama brother. You see what I'm saying? So in closing, with all that we've discovered and all that we are still trying to find out, with you being a father, myself being a father to be, and for any other young man who have dreams and aspiration of being a father. Because if you ask me, fatherhood is more important than neighborhood. You dig what I'm trying to tell you? And if you ask me, your kids are more important than your game. That's if you ask me. But my son is on the way. So I say all that to say, can you leave us with a positive message for the young men that are taking care of kids or taking care of kids that's on their way?
The child has no part in picking the mom or the dad. You want to investigate that mother's family just as well as that mother wants to investigate that father's family, because these will be the grandparents of your children. If your mother's mom is an alcoholic and a drunk and this, that, and other, this is who your child will be around. You want to research that family so you'll know if something happens to me, my kid is going to be well off, because they don't come up around no losers, they don't come up around no bums. These are people that are hardworking people, morals and principles and this, that, and other. The child don't pick the parent. We pick the parent for the child. You know what I mean? And that's what it's all about. Good behavior is learned behavior, bad behavior is learned behavior. You know what I mean? You can't curse like a sailor and tell your kid don't curse. Do as I say, not as I do. It don't go like that. You can't tell your kid don't smoke cigarettes and you smoke cigarettes. You can't tell your kid don't drink alcohol and you drink alcohol. You may do it, but guess what? Have enough respect for that child not to do it around them. You know what I mean? You smoke weed, you do that, don't do it in front of your child. You know what I mean? Do some mouthwash before you get it so they don't smell it. You think I'm stupid, I ain't slow. I smell it on you, you know what I'm saying? So no, you respect the child. Give them a fair chance, because everything is gonna happen when they get in the streets anyway. You don't want them to get that bad behavior from inside their home. You know what I mean? You want to teach them, you want your child to be better than what you was. That's it. I don't know no parent in the world that don't want their child to be better than what they were. And you gotta teach them. You gotta show them. Just because you didn't have, don't mean that they ain't got to have. You know what I mean? And like I said, did I drop the ball as a father? Of course I did. Okay. Of course I did, because guess what? I was young at the time, and this, that, and other. Provisions is not being a father. You got to be there, and especially once you see what situation they in. Hey, guess what? We both went half on this baby. Let me put my morals and principles. Let me put my morals and principles inside this child, just as well as you put your morals and principles inside of this child. But as I said, I decided to leave and abandon ship. You know, not abandon financially, but abandon as far as not being in the same household where you can give them your morals and principles and values. You know what I mean? If you come up around snake, you're gonna be a snake. This is just what it is, whether you want to or not. You're going to be like the person in the household that you in and that you raised around. This is just what it is. Like I said, the heart is what it's all about, the heart. I don't care how many shahadas, how many you be Muslim, your heart ain't good. You don't want for your brother what you want for yourself. You haven't received Iman. Iman is belief. When you want for your brother what you want for yourself, then you know that's what it is. You know that now you've achieved belief. And you rather have 20 million and your brother eating out the garbage can, you rather have him keep coming to ask for you. When I was with my plug, you didn't know who was the worker or who was the boss. We all looked good. And it's just what it is. You know what I mean? This is a person that's not selfish. You want to see your people shine. You don't want to be the only person that have to come out your pocket to pay for something, this, that, and the other. Come on, that's garbage, man. That's garbage. But everybody wasn't raised like that. And it all come from an upbringing. And I'm going to give you this. Be Muslim. That's all I can tell you is be Muslim. Muslims still believe in Jesus, alayhi salam. This is what we believe that happened to Jesus. This is what we know happened to Jesus, but the Quran says it. Judas, the one who betrayed Jesus for the 7 pieces of silver or whatever it is, God put Jesus' face on Judas. So this is the one that was crucified. This will explain the blasphemous statement. They say Jesus said, "Why hast thou forsaken me?" Which means, what did I do to deserve this punishment? The only person would say that is Judas, because y'all just paid me the ransom. That's just like God put Von's face on Lil Tim. You understand me? So Lil Tim is the one that get slayed and killed, and God raised Von up to himself. Y'all backdoor, what y'all on, cuz? Y'all paid me this bag, and now y'all done got down on me out here? So the places were switched. So God saved Jesus from that horrible crucifixion, and he raised him up to himself, alive, not dead. And he has to come back and die an earthly death. And he never told the people to worship him. A lot of people believe that we don't believe in Jesus, which that is not even his name. He never heard the name Jesus in his lifetime. Never in his lifetime did he hear the name Jesus. But everyone calls him that. His correct name is Isa alayhi salam. And Isa bin Maryam. We get our father's last name. My son's last name, my daughter's last name is Hasan. My son's last name is supposed to be Hasan. You know what I mean? My last name is Craig because my father's name was Craig. You know what I mean? So therefore you get your father's first name for your last name. So Isa bin Maryam, the son of Mary. He didn't have a father. God said, be and it is to her, and she became pregnant without the intervention of man. You know what I mean? It's just what it is. Be Muslim. That's all I can say is be Muslim. 8950 Stony Island, Masjid Al Farouk. Be Muslim.
When's the last time you talked to your your son, Kayvon?
He responded no more after the text messages because I knew the text messages were being monitored. So I sent what I sent. It's what it is. I mean, this is the same thing that I've been saying to him from the jump. I mean, I stood face to face with him in front of my home. I said, what greater test can a man have than his own son take him to pay for the hidden da-da-da-da-da-da? Eyes watered up, but they didn't fall. Got up out of there. You know what I mean? Because like I said, never comfortable around me at all because it's real. Never comfortable around me at all, but I would never touch him. Never, because guess what? Everything is already written. God gonna deal with what he gotta deal with and how he gotta deal with it. This is my test. This is my test. This is my test. And he tests who he loves. The greater the test, the greater the reward. But you got to pass the test. And like I said, if I'm murdered for speaking out about these people and speaking about this, it's beautiful.
Okay. And so with that being said, if I'm murdered, if I'm speaking out against this or speaking out against these people, we wrapping up right now. So can you tell us what exactly made you come forward to speak out against your son and also speak amongst some shit that might get you hit? I'm sorry, right? This shit might get me hit for even speaking to you. I'm strong. I'm courageous enough to take that risk. I know my life.
Well, you need to take your shahada, brother. That's all I can tell you.
You say I gotta become Muslim? I'm Christian. I believe in Jesus.
I'm gonna give you this. Is it better for you to believe that he died in a horrible, horrific way on a cross? A crucifixion, false. If Von was murdered with an axe, Jesus didn't ask to be on the cross. They allegedly forced him up there. If Von was murdered with an axe, could we go get diamond and crusted axes in memory of Von? How are we wearing a crucifix around our neck in memory of Jesus and he didn't ask to be on the cross? This is an oxymoron. This is not that. As I said, La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. These words are heavier than heavens and earth. If all your bad deeds are stacked to the heavens, bad deeds, and you have these words on your tongue and in your heart, guess what? Ramadan is 30 days. You do 1 day or you do 5 hours, but you know this is something you're supposed to do. You know what I mean? Christmas come around, I'm Muslim. I don't celebrate no Christmas and I don't even wish me no Merry Christmas. I believe in Allah and his messenger. You got five prayers to pray every day. You only pray one. You acknowledging and you letting it know that this is what it is. You're not in denial of what it is. His mercy outweighs his wrath. So if you have that on your tongue, it has no other choice but to tip our scales of good deeds and bad deeds. These words are heavier than heavens and earth. La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. So you're going to tip the scales. And that's what we all want in the next life is for our good deeds to outweigh our bad deeds. That's what we want. And if you have those words on your tongue and in your heart, and like I said, ain't nobody perfect. God said he would destroy all of mankind if no one would sin, just to bring back a people that would sin, just so they could ask him for forgiveness. It don't make you a hypocrite because I'm doing this and doing that and I'm praying. What make you a hypocrite is when you don't pray. A Muslim is still a Muslim as long as he prays. A Muslim ain't a Muslim if he don't pray. This is what it's about, praying. Praying. I don't care what you do, pray, because this is the first thing that you're gonna be asked about on the day of judgment is your prayers. And if your prayers are in line, inshallah, you're gonna be safe. And try to surround yourself with good people. Good people. Leave a good taste in people's mouth. Let people miss you. If something happened to you, you want people to miss you when you're gone. Not be happy that you dead and gone. This dude was an asshole. He was a creep. He was this. You want people to miss you. I guarantee you, anything ever happened to me, it's going to be a lot of people making dua for me because I treat people right. I treat people good. It's just by nature, though. It's easy. It's easy for me. This is how I was raised. It's easy for me. You know what I mean? It's just what it is. And this is who I've always been. You know what I mean? Even before Islam. You know what I mean? It's about your heart. It's about your code. And like I said, snakes be with snakes. You ain't going to catch a good person with a snake for a long time. Yeah. It ain't going to happen. It just ain't going to happen. Eventually they gonna part ways. You know what I mean? Snakes be with snakes. That's just it.
Yeah. So, with your son being in jail right now and you doing this interview on DJU-TV right now, right? In closing, I like to usually ask for a message for the youth. But tonight, I want to do something differently. With that being said, you know, usually I like to wrap up my interviews with a message to the youth, you know. But I think in this situation, we need to wrap up the interview with a message to your son, Kayvon. Like, because I heard you, you know, you said you haven't talked to him in a while, but like, if you could speak to him right now, do this interview, what would you tell him?
Walk away from what you in, even though I know he in too deep, because I know this is what it is. Allah forgive everything. You make sincere tawbah, you do what you gotta do, you know how you gotta make it right. And that's just it. I've been telling him this from the very beginning. I even told him, let's leave the country, let's go study Islam. This is what I told him. My son's car got shot up 25 times. Didn't a bullet touch him in Atlanta? You know he was dating T Styles, Cardi B friend. He backdoored her, did some snake stuff to her. She sent them people at him. You know what I mean? They got down on him. Didn't a bullet touch him? Once I found out that happened, I say, man, it's time to go. Let's go learn Islam. Let's go do the deen and da-da-da-da. But he caught up. He loved the money. You know what I mean? He loved the money. It's just what it is. You know what I mean? And like I said, they coming home. I'm not worried about them. And like I said, I'm the piece they left unraveled. So if they got to get convicted and they got to get sentenced, they coming home when Trump get out of office. This is a fact because those people run the world. This is a fact. I don't care how much you don't like it or how much you don't believe it. They run the world, and they definitely run the federal institution. Their president run that. So like I said, NBA Youngboy got a pardon, right? Come on, this is what it is. Oh, why R. Kelly locked up? He still got his what? What he still own? He still on got his what? His masters. He still got everything, don't he? It's what it is. I mean, it's what it is.
So you saying if Kale's getting a master's up, he can come home? Basically.
I mean, it's a possibility.
Canada,
I mean,
right?
I don't know in depth with his situation, but yeah, that's what they want. Prince, I ain't a slave no more, ex-slave, da-da-da-da. All these people ain't lying. All these people ain't making this stuff up. These are people that, Kanye, my mama, y'all did my mama. Ooh, you sacrifice people to move up. Who those? Duke and Youngin, them 2 O-block chains, and Louis, that's 3 O-block chains since they've been locked up. 3 O-block chains. Could this be securing them getting released from this? These are valuable people. Whether or not he paid the people to kill them people or not, this is what it is. These are valuable people that were part of King Von's circle. You know what I mean? So sacrifices is the way you go up in this.
The last thing I did want to mention before we close, and I'm sorry, it's the fact that, you know, before this interview, me and you talked over the phone, you know, just to get acquainted with each other. And I was sharing with you my personal life, and you were sharing me with yours, right? I don't mind sharing my personal with content. Like I said earlier, it's the difference between, it's a thin line between content and reality, right? Mm-hmm. So I just kind of want to leave you and leave my audience and, you know, just wrap it up with this, right? I got a son on the way. I got a baby on the way. I'm very excited. It's my first child. I'm 34 years old and I ain't had no kids, right?
Alhamdulillah.
But my lady, my wife to be, I won't call her my baby mama because that just sound a little, that sound a little too ghetto. I love the woman that I'm with. You see what I'm saying? She's not my wife yet. But I just don't want to put that baby mama title on her. But anyway, my lady already has a 10-year-old son. His father passed away a couple years ago. Okay? So I've decided as a man to step up and presume or accept that responsibility, right? So let me share something with you about my stepson that's 10 years old, right? His favorite rapper is King Von. All he want to listen to is King Von. His mama hated, and with me being King Von's former DJ, I don't know what to do with it, right? Because I don't want to be a hypocrite. So, I guess I'm asking you, what's the best advice you can give me in this situation in which my stepson is listening to the music of a guy that was outside, doing shit?
This is how you know. This wouldn't even be a question if this was your biological son. This wouldn't even be a question. It's not to throw salt at you. This wouldn't even be a question because you want your child to be better than you. This music is destroying the culture. Why do we want him singing? I got it flexing on it. Why do we want him singing this at 10 years old? The music is destroying the culture. It's destroying our people. This is what this is. So there's no way a 10-year-old should be listening to King Von. But it's what happened. Music is okay. In Islam, music is haram. Nothing should fuel the soul but God. Nothing should move the soul but God. How I put on R. Kelly and want to make love. How I put on Tupac and want to kill. How I put on Vonnie and want to go kill. Nothing should move the soul but God. Music is haram. These are tools of the shaitan. These are tools of the shaitan, and this is what programs you. So that 10-year-old kid don't need to be listening to no music. Zero. Not even conscious music. None of that. Quran. Listen to, this is how beautiful the Quran is. When you hear the recitation of the Quran. Can't even read Arabic, can't even write it, don't even understand it all. I know how to pray. But guess what? A brother was reciting Quran. I didn't even know what he was saying. I started crying. I didn't even know what he was saying. I started crying. This is how beautiful the Quran is. Everything in this world will rust. Even the heart will rust. And what removes rust from the heart is the Holy Quran. Everything in this life has an owner's manual that has value to it. Everything in this life that has value to it, it comes with an owner's manual. The owner's manual for the human being is the Holy Quran. That's it. And all I can give the advice, be Muslim. Nobody's going to be perfect. There's no such thing as a perfect Muslim. Just be Muslim, and guess what? We get in Islam at our late ages. Give Islam to our children when they're born and give it to them and put them in the Muslim schools. Don't put them in these other schools where they're celebrating Pride Day and all this crazy stuff, leading our children to this. They gave us a Pride Month at my grandbaby school. Pride Month, a whole month. They didn't just single it out to the day, the whole month. But on the day after Pride Day, you had to wear rainbow colors. Why you didn't wear rainbow colors at the beginning of Pride Month? Why is that you got to wear rainbow colors the day after Pride Day? This is the agenda that they are trying to push. So you put your children in these Muslim schools and guide them and teach them Islam. We caught up. We didn't come up in these streets. So we gonna be the Mickey Mouse Muslim a little bit. But our kids don't have to be. And our kids are our ticket to paradise. Our children are. My dad, he taught me Islam. My grandpa, he taught me Islam. He didn't have me around none of that. He didn't have me around. The school is the most important thing that your kid gonna go to. They're gonna get tutelage from you, but guess what? They're gonna be at school around little Ray, little Tisha, and they fast and they this and they this. So they're getting all this behavior. All this behavior. You know what I mean? How little girls going to school with mini skirts on. This is the dress of a prostitute. How we got our little girl with a mini skirt on? A skirt above her knees or even at her knees. This is not modesty. This is not modesty. Yeah, she's a little kid. Let her be a little kid. Let her be a little kid. This is what clothes do prostitutes wear?
Skirts.
Mini skirts. This is simple. Pantyhose and all this fishnets and all this garbage. Come on, man, it's garbage. It's garbage. But if the parents don't know, the kids ain't gonna know. But society paints you that this is okay. It's okay for your girl. I got a baddie. She bad. She bad. She got her BBL done, and now I'm parading her around all my guys. That's my girl. That's my girl. That's my girl. I'm a man. I got respect, but who want another man looking at their woman? Who? Why? How you get clout for that? My girl bad. Come on, man. And low key, she might be checking out your dude. Ain't gonna say nothing to you, but she might be checking out your dude. Ain't no reason for your girl to be in the company and the presence of your guys. Ain't no need for none of that.
It sound like you talking about Asia dog,
I mean, I can't even say nothing about her. I don't know nothing about her. As you heard Vonnie mama say on the recording. I didn't say it, she said it. You need to be checking about Asia down. She was with the NBA young boy. That's what she said. I didn't say it. You heard the recording, right? So that's what she said. You know what I mean? So I ain't saying it, so I don't know. I ain't got nothing bad to say about her. All I can say is this. I used to book her flights for her. Everything. I got the emails right now for me booking her flights. And after Vaughn passed, she should have came in that house and fell in my arms. Take them old block chains and woo, 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 and woo, 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 woo. Now, they took my baby. This is the natural reaction. They took my baby. You know how close me and Vaughn was, and you know every time we together. You know what I mean? They took my baby. This what that should have been. Not we taking them old block chains and all this. Or maybe she's just numb to death. I don't know. You know, but they wasn't together anyway at the time, no way. You know what I mean? So that's just what it is. You know.
Yeah, that's the harsh reality of all this. I feel like some of us might, or even most of us, might just be numb to death. Because every day we look up, it's another one of the guys getting killed. It's another one of our favorite rappers being killed. Or, you know, like, so at some point, you know, it do make you feel like, damn. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but someone you was intimate with, ain't that much numbness.
That's different, right?
Ain't that much numbness in the world.
Right.
You know what I mean? Ain't that much numbness in the world. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. I mean, like, it's what it is. Like I said, it's bigger than dirt. It's the industry. Yeah. And that's just bottom line. You know what I mean? It's the industry. It's the industry. You see all these men with bags now, little Uzi Vert. This is crazy. It's crazy. Yeah. I mean, it's the industry. You ain't finna get millions and we don't control you.
We went from saying no to drugs, to selling drugs, to using drugs, to promoting the use of drugs. You know what I'm saying? So that mean when I break it down, right, that mean we go back to what, like Public Enemy?
I mean,
with Flavor Flav and them saying no to drugs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't know.
Scarface was
Scarface
selling
or
drugs,
Snoop
selling
Dogg,
drugs,
you know,
selling
smoking
drugs,
weed,
not using
right?
drugs,
you know? Jay-Z, right? He was talking about selling drugs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we got into the Futures.
Yeah, there you go. I mean,
drinking
it's
the lean,
lean.
And then we got into the Juice WRLDs. That was overdosing on the lean. So there's been an evolution in hip-hop. There's been a destruction to our black community throughout the years. And as a DJ, I understand that. And also as a journalist, I understand that, you know, and listening to the other people perspective, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I appreciate you, Unc. That's just one thing I want you to let you know. Before we wrap this interview up, before we go online and to get all the views that it's going to get, you know what I'm saying? We don't know what it's going to get. Yeah, we know it's going to go crazy because we're talking about Dirk and Vaughn. But I just want to let you know, from face to face, this ain't no phone shit. You know what I'm saying? I respect your thoughts. You know what I'm saying? I respect your feelings. You have every right to feel the way you feel if this is what you experience. So that's why I say I refuse to come on this interview like Wack 100 and call you a bitch ass nigga. That's not appropriate. That's disrespectful. I'm not here to disrespect for you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to disrespect you. Excuse me. I got these braces in. Excuse me, y'all. But you sitting in front of my camera, so I just gotta, give you that respect and that honor for at least taking the time out of your evening, out of time of your life, to share with me your story. You know what I'm saying? So right now, as we speak and moving forward, your son, would you say your third or fourth, Vonnie, Kayvon, which one, third or fourth?
He fourth.
Fourth out of 6?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How do his siblings feel about all that's going on?
Well, they love their brother. You know what I mean? They love their brother, right or wrong. I don't have no brothers and sisters, so I don't know that feeling. You know what I mean? I don't know that feeling. You know what I mean? It's my brother. You know what I mean? That's my brother.
I got my sibling right here with me.
That's my brother. You know what I mean? That's my brother. You know what I mean? That's my brother. But
right.
But we don't step on that. We don't step on family. We don't step on family. And then we don't step on family for the bag and don't make sure that other people good in the family. You know what I mean? It don't make it right. But guess what? You ain't do nothing for your daddy, but you made sure all Von's sisters and brothers was good. You made sure your brothers and sisters was good. You know what I mean? You made it wasn't just about you and your mama. You know what I mean? So not you did, but like I said, at the end of the day, no one can take from you what's meant for you to have, and no one can give you what's not meant for you to have. So God didn't want them with none of that money with blood on it, because it's blood on that money. It's blood on it. And that's just what it is, you know what I mean? So that's just what it is, but I just couldn't rock with my brother, and I know you done backdoored our family for all this bag, and it's only gonna benefit you and your mama, and you see I'm messed up, and you see I'm broke, and bro, you got all these millions, and you ain't finna make sure I'm good? You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna never tell daddy, it's me and you against the world, broski. I ain't gonna never tell daddy. You know what I mean? But you got to make sure this ain't, That's it.
So it basically just sounds like, out of all that's been said, the fact that Kayvon didn't look out for his family is what's causing all of this revelation.
He ain't look out for.
What I'm trying to say, revelation.
He ain't look out for nobody. Like I said, none of it would have came.
But I'm saying, okay, exactly. How about this? This is the last question I want to ask as we wrapping up, right? If your son, Kayvon, a.k.a. O.T.F. Vonnie,
a.k.a. Cuz,
would have
paid
gave you some money, you know what I'm saying, would you be here conducting an interview with us?
Of course not. If he'd have gave me $2 million.
So that means it's all about money.
What else could it be about?
Well, I can't respect that, if it's all about money.
Let me tell you this. Islam say this.
Islam don't give a fuck about money.
Listen. Once you kill somebody, you got to pay the family the blood money. So my son brought me $2 million. Listen.
You got to show me that scripture.
Yo, that's easy. You can Google it on your phone. Your phone right there on your lap. What does it say in Islam when you kill somebody? You pay the family the blood money. So guess what? My son brought me $2 million. Here go Tasha. Here go this $2 million. Here, boom. Because Tasha knew about this from the beginning. She knew about it. It just your sin don't get put out to everybody. So you got to take it up with God now. You got to take it up with God now. He killed who he did what he did. That's what it is. But you got to make sure it's good with God. That's it. And with the people, make sure the people good. That's what it is. Forgive me, you killed them for money. You didn't kill them for no money. This is what it is. This is what people get out on people for money. So how I'm not gonna say it ain't about money? This is what it is.
Well, there y'all have it, man. DJ UTV, a.k.a. Hasan Craig. Any closing remarks you want to leave the people?
Be Muslim and pick the mother of your children wisely and pick the father of your children wisely. Be Muslim. That's it. Ain't nobody perfect. I don't care if you still eat pork chops, you still drink alcohol. Just be Muslim. Anybody say they love Von? You ain't Muslim, you ain't gonna be with Von in the next life. That's it. Simple as that. If you love Von, research Islam and what being a Muslim is. That's it. That's it. Research what being a Muslim is. If you love Von, you gotta be Muslim, because that's what he was. That's what Louis was.
Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel so we can get up in the algorithm.
And they died Muslim.